4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello and welcome back to the INVICTUS stream! My name as always is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the one, the only, the wonderfully fabulous, and the beautiful Miss Jo Fallak.
Me?
Yes, you! And it is just a Tuesday tonight. Jo and I tackling the deadly, inescapable murder mystery that is Arizona Salt. I guess I should have gone with a different sound, but there's nothing really that encompasses. Oh!
Ooh, I like that one.
That probably works the best, right? Because that's Law and Order, and that's sort of what tonight is about.
They're like, duh, is more Call of Cthulhu, right?
Yeah, so, well, this is more.
That's the sound I just made with my mouth.
Yeah, it sounded identical.
Duh.
Did you not just do it twice? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the INVICTUS stream. It is, of course, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, and we are so happy that you are here with us hanging out. Tonight's game is going to be a wild western, not really wild, a western murder mystery written by our lovely Jo Fallak.
Thank you.
And starring me. But it's going to be a game that deals with a lot of heavy subject matter and uncomfortable situations. So if you are not comfortable with that, an 18 plus show, so to speak, that's okay. You don't have to watch. We're not going to hold it against you, but you know, before you close the video, make sure you give us a like. In fact, if you're watching right now, make sure you like the video anyway. It's that little thumbs up sort of button. Is it still a thumbs up? I think it is, right?
I don't know.
It probably is. In the bottom corner of the screen, you press that, the one that's pointing up towards the video, to say, hey, I agree. And it makes us feel really, really happy and special, and just, it puts me to bed with a nice little warm tummy. So please like the video, and if you catch us halfway through, like it. You're not going to hear this, but just do it anyway. You should know. You know, it makes us feel better. Anyway, tonight is, of course, an 18-plus game, as I said. So, you know, let's set the mood a little bit, Jo. What kind of violent themes are we going to be actually dealing with?
Murder.
Murder? What about infanticide?
Yes.
Suicide?
Yes.
Patricide?
Maybe.
Matricide? Insecticide? Pesticide, right, damn. Fungicide, is that a real thing? For mushrooms?
For fungus, yeah.
Or just for people who like to have fun? You stop dancing! But yeah, it's gonna be a murder-filled night, so buckle in. If you're new to this video and the stream, welcome. You want to go over to the Facebook right about now and join the group. We have two things on Facebook, the page and the group. The page is great. It's where you get all the sort of big announcements, like Chronicle Brewing Night, which is coming up, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But the group is really where the heart of the matter is, as that band would sing. It's where we hang out, where we talk, where we chit-chat, and have a good memory-making time. So go ahead, join the group, and I will approve you. We'll welcome you fondly. Most of the time, we'll wish you happy birthday. And it's a place where you can talk with your fellow Pierres.
Do you like GIFs? We got GIFs.
But not with a T. Just
No. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes. Very rarely. Also, if you're part of the group and you submit content and you share your stories, you have a chance of winning the most valuable post. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we distinguish amongst the other riffraff. We lift it out and we say, you done good, kid. And this week, I would like to announce the MVP, but first, there's more. I want to shout out to, this is not MVP, by the way, but I want to shout out to someone who posted this week in the group by the name of Mr. Michael Walsh. Michael is moving from his hometown to Columbus, Ohio. And he's looking for people to play with. So if you are in the Columbus, Ohio area and you want to join an RPG group, or if you already have a group and you're looking to have someone come in and step in, give Mike a little PM. He would much deserve it, and he probably, you know, look, gaming's all about getting together, having fun, and then Michael can report back and let us know what a jerk you were. So yeah, shout out to Michael in Columbus, Ohio. Not MVP though. Just wanted to do a little bit of a favor for him because we reach such a wide audience.
Dozens and dozens of views.
There are dozens of us. But
we're almost at 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Well, yeah. I haven't checked. I believe you, but at this point,
would I lie?
Well, but I want to give MVP to sort of, some would say, a worse cause. I would say better. This week's MVP goes to the fabulous John Regan for finding a lobster shirt.
Yay!
At his local, what was it?
Old Navy.
Old Navy.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is. So there's Michael Walsh, who's actively looking for role-playing companions in Ohio and using our lovely little Facebook group to sort of talk about that and ask for help. He gets put to the side, but John finds a lobster shirt and he gets most valuable post. And that's the way it goes. The way the cookie crumbles.
There's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke, sort of. But also,
you posted a picture of both of us in lobster
that's also a lobster shirt. I think even if it was an inside joke, he'd probably win.
Also, cult pants. Did you notice that?
What?
The
Oh!
pants that he was holding up with him are from your most recent game.
You know what? I read the post and he said, "This is my cult outfit." I thought he was talking about like the cult of Invictus.
Both.
Didn't realize
It's
it was
double entendre.
double entendre. Is that right? Is that what it means?
Yep.
Both ends?
2 meanings.
2 meanings? Double entendre? I thought double entendre meant the front and the back.
Well, for some people it does.
Also, as I mentioned 20 minutes ago, we're doing another Chronicle Brewing Night on April 13th, I think. Come on out to Chronicle Brewing in Bowmanville and sit down to one of 3 fantastic tables run by this guy, that gal, and Justin, who's not here right now.
We miss you, Justin.
Yeah, we miss Justin very much. I think he's probably watching right now, waiting to see if we shout out to him. I always like to push it 10 minutes in the video so I know when he gets bored and turns off. Because he's like, they didn't mention me, it turns off. But he gets his shout out at the beginning, 10 minutes in, halfway through, and at the end. But the best stuff will come at the end if he can last the whole 3 hours. Is that how long our show is? Fuck.
We'll see.
We'll see. And yeah, Chronicle Brewing Night. We were running 3 games. We were running Dragon Age RPG. Justin is. Joe is running 4 Sherlock Holmes. What's it called again?
4 Sherlock Holmeses and Vampire, which may be one of the aforementioned Sherlock Holmeses.
Yes, which we have run on stream. And actually, after you mentioned that, I was kind of thinking, man, I'd love to run that again.
Yeah.
Because for 2 reasons. One, we were sort of totally unaware of what the hell it meant. 2, I wasn't crazy about who I picked to play. I think I went with a celebrity Sherlock Holmes, which...
Well, yeah, I asked everyone at the beginning, like, are you going to be Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
Are you going to be RDJ Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, which wasn't bad, but it was like silly, but in a different direction. I kind of want to do it again, but just as like a Sherlock Holmes, not worry about playing, because not only was I playing Sherlock Holmes, but I was playing an actor playing Sherlock Holmes, which sort of just felt too far out of.
Well, I'm excited to see what all of the Chronicle attendees, what kind of Sherlock Holmeses they're interested in being, and whether or not they're also potentially vampires.
And whether or not they even want to play that game, because they might want to join End of the World with Harlesburg.
Is that you?
And Harlesburg Light. That's Henry.
Oh
No, but yeah, I'm running End of the World. I've listed it as the most magical place, which is the Disneyland variant that we ran here with guest starring Rin as an NPC. But I think I don't think you were in it. I think it was Alex and Justin and maybe Michael?
I've never played a Disney World variant.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that one. But as is my fashion, I'll stand over the table before we start and say, hey, do you want to play this in Disneyland or do you want to play this just around the table and starting? Honestly, it depends. With End of the World, it really depends on how much energy I have. Because the game is meant to be run starting at the table. But God, that takes a lot of like...
Didn't we run an extremely drunken
Yes.
game of End of the World at the end of the first Chronicle Brewing Night, where everyone who was left in the bar at the end of the night sat down, we pushed all the tables together, and you DM'd one half of the table and I DM'd the other half of the table.
And Justin, we each
And
DM'd a third
yeah.
of the table.
Wow,
Yeah, we
that's
did. It was after the games had all stopped, and we ran it for like 13 people or something like that. And it was actually not bad. I mean, it was like short. It was like half an hour, I think, probably at most. But yeah, we all sort of started. I think I started with everybody, and then I split you guys up and was like, "Can you handle those 6? Justin handles those 6."
Well, because naturally people like
Break off.
went in all different directions, and so
Yeah.
you were like, Joe, go and like tell them what's happening over there, which is like really fucking fun.
Well, one of the coolest ways to play in the world, which I really like, especially at a con, it's not necessarily the best, but it's a cool variant of it, is having the people at the table your friends. And I was speaking to a friend of ours, Erin, and her boyfriend Andrew, who are going to be at the Chronicle night, or are planning to, and they're bringing friends too. And I told them that if they wanted to all sit in on End of the World, it's a really, it changes the vibe a little bit. If you play with different people, that's great. But one of the first things I say is like, hey, forget your loved ones, because we're not splitting up to go to everyone's loved ones. With a party, especially people who know each other really well, it's more likely they're going to have a unanimous sort of front for the most part. They might be like, especially if they're couples, and this is 2 couples, I think. They're basically going to have everyone they love. And then what the hell do you do? And so it might be fun to run at the table. But again, like I said, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of mental gymnastics to be like, okay. And then you're running through the woods and you come across a bear cave.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on. Got my idea locked in.
Oh, End of the World Bear Cave. It all takes place in one cave.
Bear Cave edition. All the different bear caves. So yeah, Chronicle Brewing Night, April 13th. If you have not been, come on out. If you have been, come on out again. If you are out of country, stop making excuses.
Just
move.
get up here. What's your problem?
Kind of better up here anyway, assuming that you live in the States. But yeah, all that. Chronicle Brewing Night.
Discord? Join us on Discord.
Yeah, join us on Discord right now if you're not already there. Additionally, we wanted to say, shout out to Justin, who is in Austin, Texas, saying a howdy do dat to his recording buddies, as well as doing some recordings and some music right now. So, hey, buddy, I know you're not watching this, but I stole your lawnmower. Also, he found the bridge from the credits of Grimm, which was funny. I forgot that was taken from Austin. He took a picture and he was standing next to it pointing, and it took me a second to figure out. And, that was the drone shot of the. You don't know what I mean when I do this. That should be all I need to do.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Also, Twitter's a thing still. We use that. I'm trying to use Twitter more. And then what's the other one? Instagram. I'm trying to use that more too.
Social media.
The wizards. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we did a lot of fun at InvictusCon. Again, not to drop the ball or not remind you guys constantly, we will be at Gen Con this year, which is going to be a big up for us. Are you excited for the massive crowds, Joe?
I'm so excited for all of the unwashed masses. Harlan and I will be running, I believe, 3 games between the 2 of us, so stay tuned for those. They have been approved but not scheduled yet, so we'll see.
And as is tradition, the games will first be offered to our Patreon supporters. Not because of any favoritism or elitism, but essentially because of that.
I don't think we can do that.
What do you mean?
It's just it's going to go live on the Gen Con. I just mean to say
we'll send them the link first.
Oh,
we're going to know when they're first live, and then we're going to post it to Patreon right away.
Yep. Sorry.
That's what I mean.
Wink.
It's not like anyone won't be able to do it, but you're going to have to be refreshing constantly. And we want to thank the people who support us, because they're literally making us going to Gen Con possible. Like, without them, we wouldn't be at Gen Con. Therefore, they should get the first option to be at Gen Con.
I totally agree.
I know you do, but what am I? We did mention what games we're running last week or 2 weeks ago. Either way, I will say out loud that I am going to be running a brand new. Not many people say the D in brand new. It's brand new. Brand.
It's a brand muffin.
It's a brand muffin game where you play a haunted brand muffin that takes over a school of fish. Where are we? No, I'm running a brand new adventure. I ran it at Breakout Con this eon ago, but I don't think anybody. Well, the only person from the stream that was there was Jason. who loved it, by the way. Jason just ate it up. And I mean, that's about it. So that's the one. You're running one that we're going to be writing together, the party.
Yes, Harlan and I are co-DMing a birthday party D&D game.
That one's going to be
very exciting.
I think it's going to be a legendary
game. We came up with a concept while we were out for a walk in the woods. That's how good the game is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get ready for that.
Need we say more? And then you're running another one that is the Sandstone Kingdom, or I forget what you're running.
Yes.
But you're just using that title? You're going with something else, right?
I'm tweaking and twerking.
Whoa. You're twerking my game? Our game? For a shorter play, I guess, right? Because it was two things.
And also just, we played it through at Chronicle Brewing Night, so I'm gonna do a little bit of editing, a little bit of
totally fair.
making things a little more.
Yeah, that's I totally am with that. In fact, I'm gonna be doing the same thing on my Call of Cthulhu game. You know, changing the one mistake there was.
Man, people are excited about this Bran Muffin RPG that you just came up.
It's Bran. Now I gotta write one. Now we gotta do a Bran Muffin RPG.
You play a baked good.
I say write very loosely. I'm like, we're going to write an RPG. I.e., we're going to spend 3 hours fumbling through some fucking mess about Bran.
Yay!
Tonight, Salt the RPG.
Well,
just kidding. We're not going to be fumbling. It's not about Salt. And it's going to be a great game. I'm excited. I guess we're ready to go. Do you want to start or do you want me to blow some more time?
What's the game about?
Tonight? It's a Wild West.
Oh, is it? Well, that's interesting. I just happen to have this neckerchief here.
Oh, I have one too, but I don't know if I was going to wear it. I think I might just keep my neck out. I think it's one of my most attractive features, so.
Oh, what's this?
You're the sheriff?
We can both be sheriffs. I thought that was your lobster shirt for a second.
Just wrap it. Shirt around my neck. What do you think? Hide the neck or keep the neck out?
Oh, I want to see that neck.
I think we all do, don't we? Yeah, let's see the neck. Fuck it. Besides, I don't want to be too much like Carter from our Deadlands game. Anyway, I think we're about ready to start. What do you say, darling?
Howdy, partner. I was going to say yar, but...
Yeah. Wait, are we doing pirate western? I hope so. Fair enough. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado... That's too subtle. I think we got to wind down a little bit more. And that's the end of the intro segment. And now, all that stuff is done. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we bring you Arizona Salt.
So the opening scene is this gorgeous... afternoon light coming in through the window of a log cabin. We smell the warm aromas of a meal being prepared. Sheriff Ewan Salt, who's making you dinner?
I look over the orange glow of the sitting room in my small prairie home at the bubbling pot on the stove. My wife, Ellie, stands there smiling at me as I look her up and down, and I look back out the window at the setting sun.
She wipes her calloused but clean hands on her apron and approaches you. Supper's almost ready.
I could smell it. The smells delicious. Come here. And I grab her by the waist and pull her in close for a kiss.
And she sort of mock protests. Oh, let me go.
Come here. And I continue.
just as the stew begins to boil over, she struggles off of your lap and goes to tend the pot. Your kitchen is humbly but cozily furnished with the accoutrement that the two of you have collected over your time being married together. How long have you been married to Ellie, and how old are you?
You and Salt was a 34-year-old man, kind smile, thin beard. And Ellie and he, have been married for only 2 years. She's come out this way to Rock Island for only a short time, see the homestead set up with me, spend a few months getting settled in before she heads back out east, leaves me here. It's a temporary situation, should be the year out before she comes back, but we're really stretching out these last few days together as I stand up, walk over to her, and feel the fine grain on one of the chairs that I made out back with my own hands.
You don't have to work tomorrow, do you?
I have to work every day, darling. It's kind of the job. I point to the tin star on my lapel that says sheriff.
She puts her hand over top of the star, and she says, Ewan, we only have a few days.
I know, but it's a quiet town. I'm sure it'll be a easy afternoon. I'll head back around lunchtime. We can spend the afternoon out by the big tree out back. Maybe have a little picnic before I go back to work. How's that sound? And I put my hands around her waist.
I'd like that very much.
I figured you would.
The scene dissolves into a mirror image of itself, one that is lit much differently. It's a rainy day, and Sheriff Ewan Salt is in the room, but Ellie is not.
I'm standing over a warm tin of open beans sitting on a dimly lit table in my kitchen. The rain taps on the windows outside as I walk over, pull the chair back with screech, and sit down, looking over the single spoon that sticks out of the brown mess that steams softly.
What happened to Ellie?
I think about her heading back east, hoping that she's safe. It's been 3 months now. She writes every 3 weeks, but hadn't got a letter. It's made me a bit colder than usual. The town here is still new to me for the most part. I'm trying to earn their respect while still staying true to my morals that Ellie helped shape. It's always easier to solve things with a smile and nod and a casual conversation than with a 6-shooter. And as I look over these beans, I can't help but worry about what the town thinks of me, whether everything's all right, and whether Ellie's all right.
You're young for a sheriff, and you're new to this town, so perhaps being that your wife is gone now, you're feeling a little bit insecure about your position at the jailhouse.
I stand up, not hungry enough to eat, again with the screeching of the chair, and walk over to the few framed black and white pictures that hang above and look at one of my daddy. He was mainly the reason why this town wrote me in the first place. I lived in the big city with Ellie most of my life, but my father, Harlan Salt, he was a famous lawman out this way. Him and his partner, Dodie Sims, they had quite a fanfare with them. Lasted out here for 15 years, longer than most lawmen. Brought a lot of civility to this area of the country, and when he died, shot in the back by a crazy fella, his legacy died along with him, or at least so they thought, until they found me at the college in the big city out east. They wrote me, and Ellie and I toyed back and forth with the possibility she had family there, and obviously needed to stay for a younger sister and all that. We decided we'd come out here. They offered the property and the house as well, while she sorted affairs back home. But now I'm here 3 months in, and I feel like I'm living under the shadow of my father, trying to be the man he was, but I'm not as stern, not as hard, not as calloused as he is or was. I prefer to do things my own way. I look at the picture off the wall and remove it, impressed by the man my father was, but equally trying not to be him, and I place it face down on the hearth of the fireplace.
Arizona is land of the grasping pine thicket, of dry calf-tickling grasses, of blue-green spear-shaped yucca, striated, weathered rock, and a horizon fractured with canyon and dust. About 700 people live and work in Rock Island. The town itself clings to the sloping sides of a valley that grows mostly scraggly trees and brush and dry grass. A dry riverbed here seasonally brings water. Otherwise, the occupants have to haul the water from their wells. There's a couple of taverns in town, besides which a schoolhouse, a library, a laundry, a grocer, a post office, a rail station, a barbershop, 2 churches, and the jailhouse that you call your workplace. The folks here mostly ranch, a couple farmers, and there's a small mine. Now, sorry?
I was just going to say, I stay on the porch of my house in the thickly falling rain the morning after, a long strand of straw sticking from my mouth. I look over the town. My house sits on just a small hill. It's a large piece of land and swiftly carries down towards the town below. And I regard it with sort of comfort. It's starting to feel like home these long 3 months.
You spy Dodie Sims, your daddy's partner, coming up the way towards your house through the rain. He hasn't spotted you on your porch. He's got his head bowed against. It's not coming down too hard, just a mist really, but he's making his way to your place.
I see him coming. In typical Doty fashion, I know what he's going to be asking, so I head inside for a second tin cup, despite it being 8 in the morning. I know he likes a splash in his coffee, and I bring out a second one to meet him as his feet touch the wood grain of my porch. And I catch his eyes. Morning, Doty.
Morning, Morris. Can't say it's a nice morning.
How you doing?
I've been better.
Yeah, you look a little bit like shit. You slept at the inn last night or in your own bed?
No, I slept in my bed. Listen, Ewan, we don't have time for coffee.
What do you mean?
Well, Morris Ruffner's down at the jailhouse. He'd like to speak to you.
Morris, what he want?
You know Morris A. Ruffner is one of the ranchers in town. Well, he's reporting a break-in his farmhouse, some theft. One of his horses gone missing. Thought you should come in and take a listen.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, we can bring our coffees to go. And I put on my coat and tighten my hat. Tighten it.
You pull the drawstring tight on your hat.
And we head down the wet hill towards town.
Mm-hmm. It's a familiar sight, if not a fond one yet for you. As I say, you see the taverns are not yet open, but one of them has piano music tinkling from inside. Someone's practicing. The kids are in school, etc. You get to the jailhouse. Where's your horse? Do you stable your horse at the jailhouse or at home with you?
I keep Pfeff at the house in case I ever need to ride out from there, but because the jailhouse is only a short walk, I left her there. Besides, Doty came on foot, and I wouldn't want to make the old bat ride side saddle with me or walk alongside. I'm a gentleman after all.
Absolutely. Morris A. Ruffner, a sunburned man in worn clothes, is pacing on the covered porch of the jailhouse, and he raises kind of an awkward hand in greeting to you as you approach.
And I sort of nod to people passing by, trying to run between the sections of roofing, hiding from the rain, which, even though it's still only misting, is just dire in these dry times, and I approach, sort of waving him off, calming him down. Morris isn't a bad man by any means, but he's not Ewan's kind of people. He's not the kind of person who's calm, collected, likes to be civil in most ways, at least in previous experiences he's had. And so Ewan sort of approaches without me paying much mind, and slowly takes his time unlocking the door, one coffee cup in hand. Without making eye contact, he says, "Morning, Morris."
Morning, Ewan.
In a bit of trouble, I heard.
Well, yes, sir, I am. Not quite sure how to say this, but I've been robbed.
Yeah, I heard. Let's go inside and figure it out. And with a click, the door unlocks, and we head inside the sheriff's station. I head around the big oak wood desk that's dimly lit with the dim morning light that's not as bright as it was yesterday, and sit down behind the desk into my comfortable chair, move my hat and put it on the post, and point to the chair across from me to get his story and tell of events as Doty walks in behind with his warm coffee, blowing on it, and sits in the far corner behind.
Morris's clothes are looking a little bit rough. You notice he seems pretty bummed out. Well, Sheriff, so here's what happened as far as I can figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I left the house, do my chores around 5 o'clock, draw water from the well, water the horses and the cows, milk the herd, set them out to graze, and then followed them after a little while on my horse. And when I came back in the afternoon, I recognized that one of my horses was missing.
Which one was that?
That's Jeepers.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
Well, with a name like that, maybe she run off herself, eh? And I kind of lean back and look at Doty for a smile.
And he does. He obliges you, mostly with his eyes over the rim of his coffee cup as Morris continues. Well, you might say that, but I've never known him to run, so I thought 'twas odd, and that I would need to go on horseback to find him. That is till I come around the side of the house and I realize the front door's hanging open.
So Jeepers was taken and the front door was also open in your house?
Well, yes, sir.
All right, you went inside?
Yes, sir. Well, bedding was pulled out of all my chests. My savings were taken from under my mattress where I keep it. Some food from my larder, and my revolver.
Your revolver was taken too?
Yes, Sheriff.
Well, that's a shame to hear.
It was a nice one too, my daddy's.
Any distinguishing marks on it?
There's a little engraving on the handle part.
Well, I wouldn't hold much hope out for the gun. It's most likely away from here on some bandit's side. But Morris, you still married? You got that wife, or?
As you see the hurt reflected in his eyes, you remember with a start that his wife passed away a couple of months ago, and he fiddles with the frayed edge of one of his sleeves. Well, Sheriff, no, Dorothy passed away with pneumonia.
Shit.
You remember,
Sorry, Morris,
in the springtime.
No, you're
That's
right.
all right. I don't come around too often anymore, so I understand.
No, that's all right. I mean, I just had to make sure. You don't got no enemies, nothing in town? No one's going to want to looking to harm you?
No one I know of.
Give a study on his face. See if I can
Sure.
a little bit of his line. I'm going to do a psychology roll.
Please do.
For the uninitiated at home, we are playing Call of Cthulhu rules.
Yes, we are. We are setting our investigation in the Wild West, but otherwise we are using the mechanics of Call of Cthulhu.
I had a hard psychology success.
He seems pretty bothered by the fact that his home was invaded, and especially upset at the destruction, I guess, that was wrought. I think probably the fact that the bedding being pulled from the chest, like these were things that his wife had embroidered, sentimental value, and he's also having kind of a hard go of it. You can tell from his worn out clothes that there's no one mending them anymore. Like he's really for want of a partner, and this really kind of hit him at a time that he didn't need to be hit. He's pretty distressed. He's not pulling your leg or
I don't get any vibe that he's malicious or
not deceiving you.
Perfect.
No.
Okay. And I sort of look him over. Is Morris one to typically wear ratty suits like this?
He's wearing work clothes. They're clean, but just in poor repair. You would presume that he is not familiar with a needle and thread necessarily.
Right.
But you haven't seen him really that much since his wife passed away that you wouldn't know if this has been common or what.
Yeah. And I sort of lean past him looking at Dowdy, who's leaning over the steam from his mug, and I look back to Morris and say, well, Morris, like I said, I wouldn't hold up much hope for the gun. Most likely Banks just saw an opportunity, came and took it. Same with the horse, but if you want, I can come up, take a look around, make you feel a little better.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'd really appreciate that.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, and it seems like it's going to be quite a day. I look outside again at the mist. Most people don't try to rob in the rain, surprisingly. No one wants to get wet, not even bandits. I stand up, put the hat on my head. You want to take a walk up to your place, or you got a horse in town?
Oh, I brought my horse down.
How far is the Ruffner place?
Half-hour ride out of town.
All right.
Not too bad.
Dodie, you want to come with? Or you want to hold up shop here?
Oh, I figure I'll hold down the fort here.
All
You
right.
got it?
Nah,
Sheriff
dude, yeah.
Saul, you want me to come with?
No, it's good. I got it. And I turn to Morris and say, why don't you ride up back to home? I got to head back and get Pfeff, and I'll meet you up there, and I'll say 40 minutes.
Yes, sir. And
I
he
stop him
puts
at the
him
door
some-
and I say, Morris, it's all right. I'm gonna take a look around, see what we can find. At the very least, you'll hopefully sleep a little safer tonight. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. He saddles up, puts his leg over a dappled
I'm gonna
gray
try to
horse.
charm him just before he
Sure.
leaves. I know Call of Cthulhu. Okay, I know Call of Cthulhu. And that is a fail. I have zero charm.
I mean, you wouldn't get him to do anything specific for you at this point, but his I guess he's still positively inclined towards you because you're helping him out and he's in a bind.
Yeah, I just wanted to,
Yeah. So he saddles up. You walk through the town in the rain. You see people going about their daily business. Many men
Morning.
tip their hats to you.
Morning.
Morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
It's like a version of that scene in Beauty and the Beast where everyone says bonjour, but it's set.
Morning.
And so you saddle up Pfeff. What kind of a horse is Pfeff?
Pfeff is a beautiful chestnut brown Kentucky saddler. Is that a type of horse? Sounds like it.
Yep, it is now.
It is now.
Kentucky Saddler.
And
My favorite.
I put my black saddle on her and her black hair and stroke her coat and bring her out into the mist. And I stroke her backside and I say, I know. She doesn't like the rain. I love it. Ellie never liked it. I always used to say her and Ellie were the same. They never liked the rain. And I saddle up on her. And I'm bringing my 6-shooter Bluebell that I inherited from my daddy. And I'm also going to bring my Winchester.
Okie doke. Anything else?
Rope, coil of rope, a little bit of extra food, mirror, always bring a mirror, and obviously some tobacco and a lighter.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you smoke a pipe or you roll cigarettes?
Always roll cigarettes. Are you kidding? My daddy smoked a pipe.
Just asking.
I ain't my daddy. And we start riding off with my... Should have brought my coat from the other room too. And we head off to the Ruffner place. And it's...
For all of the mist and the rain and the mud that it's stirring up from the dusty road, it's kind of a pleasant ride. It's nice to get out You rarely ride for pleasure, but this is a nice ride out.
Well, my hope is that the day is warming up a little bit and the mist is passing, but that would be up to you.
Yeah, no, of course you see in the distance, from the west, some clear in the sky. You figure maybe in about an hour it's going to clear up and be hot as all hell.
Beautiful. I head down the small little mountain pass that heads to the river that runs alongside the Ruffner place, and I take a deep breath, and Pfeff and I kind of take a nice jaunt along the river, the babbling brook to my right, and the beautiful greenery, the large trees that span either side of it, and the stone wall that sits to the left of me. I remember riding this place with Ellie 3 months back as we tried to get a scope of the terrain. That's everything to a sheriff around here, knowing the direction of things, knowing where places sit. Spent a lot of time just out riding until it felt like the back of my hand, and this was one of my favorite places that Ellie and I had come. And as I break through the pass back out into the open fields, I see the Ruffner place on the horizon.
The small farmhouse is surrounded by 4 outbuildings. And as you ride up, you also notice a well and a garden full of weeds that flanks the house on the right. Morris is standing awkwardly in the front of his house with his horse's bridle still in his hands. And he nods to you as you dismount.
And I climb down off Pfeff and throw her reins around a tree. Is this Jeeper's saddle? I walk up and I inspect.
Yes, it is, sir.
So they took
Yeah,
her
I just have
unsaddled?
the one. Sorry?
They took her unsaddled then.
Well, yeah, you must have Jeepers bareback. I just have the one saddle you see, and the 3 horses. Well, 2 now.
Interesting. Whereabouts was she taken from? You said she was out? Or taken from the barn?
Yeah, follow me, and he leads you through the lawn, through the grass, out to the barn. So there's a shed, an outhouse, a stable, and a barn. And then, like I said, the garden and the well. He leads you to the stable, and his remaining horse, that was not the dappled gray that he rode in on, is a short brown pony.
Why did they only take the one horse?
Or I don't know, sir.
Was she special in any kind of way, Jeepers? Is she young horse? Did you get her recent?
He was a tall, beautiful brown stallion, black mane and tail.
When'd you buy her?
Just nice looking horse. 2 years back.
Anybody you know ogle after her, offer to buy her?
No one I know.
It's pretty tough to ride without a saddle. I walk over to the stable cell that Jeepers was in.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at the lock and walk
Sure.
around. And I'll do an investigate,
Yes, please.
which is not a roll in this. I will do a spot hidden.
Great.
And I do not succeed, unfortunately.
There's some hay in this stall of the stable and a little bit of feed left over from when he had visited the horses in the morning, as he told you.
I take a look around and consider changing my pregen from police to private investigator. Hold on. Let me just see what
Absolutely.
there is. Oh, way worse. Yeah, no, I'll stick with police detective. Yeah, I bend down, take a look at the feed, and again stand back up and take a look at Morris. Walk me through one more time, will you, Morris? You woke up in the morning, 5 a.m. to do your chores. You let out the cattle, milked, did all that kind of stuff, and then you said you left the house.
Yeah, well, so after I water the cows and the horses and I feed them, then I go back to the house. Well, drawing all the water from the well is quite a problem, you see, because there's so much of it that you need in this hot, dry weather. And it's just me to haul it all, so that takes me quite some time. And then I go and fix myself something to eat. Then I get ready for the day. And so I set my cows out to graze on the pasture, you understand. So after I'm ready for my day, I saddle up Gertruda, which is this beautiful dappled horse here out front, and I follow the cows out through the field to wherever they made their way at, and shepherd them. Gotta keep them safe. There's coyotes out here
So how long was you gone from the house, roughly?
most of the day.
And it wasn't until the afternoon you came back and you realized it took the horse and went through your things.
That's right, sir.
Beyond the money, did they take anything else of value? Any jewelry? And the gun, obviously.
Well, they took some of my food and some bullets for the revolver,
Right.
and nothing else that I can reckon.
All right. Well, just stay put. Let me poke around again. So
All
I
right.
walk around the back of the barn and I'm going to do I guess another spot hidden to see if I can see any tracks of anyone.
Sure.
Yes, that is a success.
Around the barn, you said?
Yeah, so I'm
So
gonna.
the stable, there's a barn. The
Yeah.
stable's where the horses are. Barn's where the cows hang
Oh,
out.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm no the stable.
Great. And sorry, a hard success?
No, just a regular.
Regular success? You find um a set of boot prints around the back of the stable. Don't appear to be the size of Morris.
Only one set?
That's right.
How big are they roughly? Any distinguishing marks on them?
They're about the size of your shoes, probably. Nothing terribly unique about them, but Morris is a smaller man.
Okay. I'm gonna try to track them.
Sure.
There's a track ability here. It's very difficult though. I have 35. I'm gonna spend 10 luck points to make it a success.
Okay.
I never actually rolled up my luck though, so let me do that real quick.
Sure.
I think it's 3d6 times 5. Which brings me, what's that? 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5.
30.
It's 30. Woof. Really? Or maybe it's 5d. Hold on, that would be at most. No, that would be at most. Oh no, that is it. Damn it, 90. Fuck. 30 points. Ooh. So now I'm at 20. Shit.
Joke.
Alright.
You manage to catch sight of a distinctive mark. One of the boot's heels on the left side has got a crack in it. And it is by noticing this specific detail that you are able to discover through the mess of footprints that lead around the front of the stable that whoever made these tracks headed toward the house.
Righto. Can I see where they came from? Which direction though?
They came from the road.
Where I arrived from?
That's right.
Alright. So I head towards the house then.
Sure. As you approach the house, you notice a second set of tracks from this same individual leading away from the house in the opposite direction. So as you're walking toward the house, you spy maybe 30 meters away another set of boot tracks leading in a different direction.
I take a look back at Morris and give a whistle.
Yeah, he comes on up.
And I just say, sit tight, I'm going to come back to the house. I'm going to follow out this way. You hear any gunfire, you just call for Dodie to come. And I get Fef to come after me, and she unties herself as she's known to do. And comes over.
Like this.
And I remove that. That's her. Why didn't you untying it?
Yeah.
And I slide the Winchester out of her saddle, head up, cock it, and start following the tracks on horseback.
They lead only a short distance away toward the well.
Oh, then I kick Fef away.
Don't kick her.
I kiss Pfeff away, put the lever action back in. I thought it was going to be like a roving adventure, so I just disregard the whole thing and walk over to the well.
Sure. There's a well. It's ill-kept but frequently used.
I pick up a pebble, wipe it on my jeans, and drop it down.
You hear the distant splish of cool, clean water.
The tracks stop at the well?
No, they continue on.
Oh, I continue on. Did they look like they stopped or passed?
They definitely stopped, and there's some scuffling around.
Interesting. I take a look around the well.
Cool. Roll spot hidden.
A spin?
Roll spittin'.
Hard success.
Hidden in the weeds that grow up and around the lip of the well, you find a balled up, dirty shirt.
Interesting. I bend down, take a look at it.
It's sweat stained. It smells pretty bad. It's stained with some soot. It's kind of tattered.
Is there any distinguishing marks on it?
Nothing in particular.
Do I recognize it at all? Let me do an intelligence roll. Like, does it belong to a chain gang, prison outlaw, something like that? And that is a 2 points away from a critical extreme success. Let's just call it hard success. I don't want to spend my life points.
You don't recognize this shirt.
Okay. Just
You've never seen it. You've never seen it before. I mean, you wouldn't. It has no distinguishing characteristics, but additionally, with that critical success, you can't remember having seen this shirt on anyone before.
Perfect. No, I guess for me, I would think Western's clothing would be so different than nowadays. You know what I mean?
Of course, everything was tailor-made.
Yeah. Well, it was, though. It's like a shirt is like significant. It's like
okay, so with that critical success, I guess, or hard success,
hard, yeah.
You would estimate that the size of the shirt would match a man with the proportions of the footprints that you're following. Like, this shirt clearly belonged to this man at some point.
That makes sense. Okay.
Is
it a white
additionally, shirt? Yeah. The smell of soot is like kind of overpowering.
Like campfire soot or
mine
soot?
More of like a
train.
Yeah, more like a coal soot.
So like a train.
Some kind of soot, for sure.
Where is the nearest train?
There's a rail station in town.
But it doesn't run out this way, does it?
Oh yeah.
Like, does it border? And I'm sort of using my own knowledge to sort of think this through. Would it be possible for someone from the train to hop off and make their way by foot within a reasonable time towards the Ruffner Ranch?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it'd be, you weren't riding hard to ride for half an hour and get here. It'd be like an hour walk or so, but...
I walk back over to Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. You said the footprints continued. I'll follow them a little further.
Yeah, so this set of footprints is accompanied by horseshoes. And shortly after the well, the footsteps, the footprints, disappear into the horseshoe footprints, and it appears they have become one.
Perfect. Okay. I turn back to Morris, and with a bit
and
more
they
purpose.
They head out to the road.
Yeah, I start with purpose. I walk back towards the house, sort of saying to Morris, "It looks like we got a bit of an outlaw on our hands, obviously." And I walk back into his house, and I take a look around. I'll take a look for the bedroom first.
Did you want a spot hidden in here?
Yeah.
The farmhouse is a 2-room affair. It's pretty modest. There's like a sitting room with an iron stove, and then a bedroom with his bed and a chest. Is it a success?
Success.
It's not obvious to you immediately, but after poking around his bedroom for a while, you realize that one of the drawers in his chest of drawers, even though it's closed, it has been rifled through.
One of his drawers in his chest of drawers is closed but been rifled through.
Yeah, so when you open it, it's not like obviously like his chest with bedding and blankets and things in it, that's
Yeah.
got shit strewn all over the place,
Yeah.
but it looks like his like dresser basically.
Gotcha.
One of the drawers was opened, messed with, and then closed neatly again.
I take a look through the drawer myself.
It contains Morris's clothes.
I call Morris and, hey Morris,
Yes, sir.
come in here for a second.
What can I do for you, Sheriff?
I open the drawer and I say, is anything taken from this drawer?
Yeah, I suppose people back in this day didn't have like 101 garments.
Clothes, yeah.
He's like, darn. I'm missing a shirt. Dang it.
Just a shirt with a pair of boots, pants, anything like that.
And he looks through his stuff and he's like, I couldn't tell you for certain, Sheriff. I think it's just a shirt.
You don't happen to remember what shirt it was, what color it was?
Oh. Well, this one would have been light blue color.
Light blue. All right. I take a look around a little more.
What else can I tell you? Not too much else. You look at his collection of food, it's pretty meager. You feel a little bit sorry for the bachelor. Or
When did you-
widower.
Yeah, and this was yesterday, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, Morris, I can tell you two things right off the bat. First and foremost, I got a good idea of who robbed from you, and I'm going to do my best to track him down. I can't guarantee you're going to get the horse or your daddy's pistol back, but I'll try. Second thing I can guarantee is unlikely he's going to come back. I think this was a bit of a hoodlum that hopped a train, just need a fresh change of clothes and a ride out of here. I think he's a one and done type fella. Don't need to worry too much about being rifled through again.
Oh, well, I suppose that's of some consolation. Thank you, Sheriff.
I know
And
that much, but
if there's anything you can do, really, I just want Jeepers back. The pistol would be nice. There's some sentimental value, but a horse is a commodity.
hey, I know it. Listen, and you know the punishment for stealing a horse is a hanging, so I'm eager to get him as well too. What was the color of Jeepers again?
Jeepers is a tall brown stallion with a black mane and tail.
Perfect. Anything you had of valuables beyond money in that drawer?
No, sir.
So you just lost the money, Jeepers, the gun, and the shirt.
And some food.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's as far as I can reckon.
All right, Morris. Well, you know what? Like I said, I'll do my best. If I hear anything, I'll write out to you. For now, you can sleep soundly knowing that at the very least he ain't coming back. And I give a curt nod and sort of head outside and put the hat back on my head at the
Thank you, Sheriff.
afternoon sun. I head out to Pfeff and give her a nice pat. Apology for leading her and then dumping her again. And hop
She's
back
been
on.
browsing on the garden.
Of course she has. And I start riding back into town.
All right. You make it back into town, and Dodie is standing, leaning against one of the support pillars of the jailhouse.
Well, howdy there, old timer.
Sheriff Salt, did you find anything?
Now, how's it feel calling me Sheriff Salt after my daddy?
Well, it takes some getting used to, but I know you'll earn it in one of these days.
One of these days, go fuck yourself, old timer. And I hop
All right,
down.
I will.
And I say, yeah, we're looking for a man with a light blue shirt. He's probably got a wad of cash on him, gray pistol, riding a big brown stallion with black hair. He's got a cracked boot heel too. I'm gonna take a look around, see if anybody's seen anybody like that.
All right, well, don't work too hard.
You know I don't. I say with a smile, and I walk across now the drying mud of the small town towards the tavern.
Lovely. You go inside. They open early. There's a barmaid behind the bar.
And as I walk in, I give a scan to anybody that is wearing a light blue shirt. I know the guy's not got any other shirts because I have the other one. And that is a 1. That is a critical success.
Yeesh.
That's the most critical you can fucking get. That's crazy. I played a lot of Call of Cthulhu. I haven't. I ran a lot of Call of Cthulhu, and I don't think I've seen a 1.
I would love for there to be a man here with a light blue shirt. Do I smell
soot in the air?
Yeah, I mean the mine and the railway do a lot of.
I just mean to say, is there anything at all to give me the impression that my target walked even through here?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll walk up to well, maybe I can get a bonus on my questioning or something.
Sure.
So I walk up to Clarence, the bartender, owner of this fine establishment.
Well, howdy there, Sheriff.
I say, hey, Clarence. You sound quite feminine.
That's because I'm a woman.
My apologies. And I say, I'm looking for a man. Light blue shirt, cracked boot heel. Got probably a mean look on him, dirty face.
I see a lot of mean-looking men in my days.
Yeah, well, this one only came in the last 24.
Can't say I've seen anyone with that description. Someone, not one of the regulars. No? Sorry, Sheriff.
Psychology on her. Or are you just acting funny?
I just don't know how to be Western.
You're doing great. You're killing it. Yeah, that's a 2.
Wow.
That's an extreme success.
She thinks you're kind of cute, and she's sort of wondering if your wife maybe isn't going to come back.
Wow. Hey, she and me both. But nothing about the man.
No. In fact, she thinks that maybe you're just coming in here to make small talk with her.
I pick up that vibe right away, and I kind of like, all right, listen, you see anyone in a light blue shirt looks a little bit out of place, you just make sure they stay put. Send someone to come find me a runner. Don't tell them why. Don't say anything to the man, please. It could be dangerous.
Of course, Sheriff.
Thank you, darling.
You have a lovely day now.
You too. And I kind of blush as I stumble out the door. Other places in town you mentioned were the barbershop.
Yeah, so we've got a do 2 taverns. Did you like that bit?
I really did.
2 taverns, a schoolhouse, a library, a laundry, a grocer, a post office, a rail station, a barbershop, 2 churches, and the jailhouse.
Yeah, you're gonna have to post that or read it slow.
I will post it in the Discord.
Thank you. Let's call that Tavern 1. And on my way to the second tavern, I'm going to start off at the barbershop.
Well, it's funny that you should say that you head to the second tavern, because as you do, a woman that you recognize as Jeannie Marcus.
Jeannie Marcus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Literally runs into you.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Jeannie. You all right?
Oh, Sheriff. Oh, you're just the person I wanted to see. Oh, you must come with me.
Okay, take a breath. It's all right.
She's a woman in long skirts. She's got an apron over top, pinned back blonde hair. Sheriff, I just found the most disturbing sight. You have to see it for yourself.
All right, I'm coming. Relax, darling. And I'm kind of saying it with a smile and a laugh. It's been a very easy time here at Rock Island. Not to say that we haven't had our fair share of miscreants and people trying to cause fights, but it's been a long time coming that I experienced anything of real substance. And frankly, this man on the run is more exciting than I'm kind of realizing is a worry. And sort of with a nod as, I'll follow, just relax.
As you look down into her face, you see a look of real panic.
What? Jeannie, what's wrong?
All of the flush from her face is gone. It's white. She's sweating.
All right. Okay. I'm coming. Let's go.
She grabs your hand and drags you off toward the edge of town where you know her house is. Um, she leads you maybe 400 meters away from the nearest house, and this is where the road just naturally heads out of town and points at a very large tree. This you know to be an alligator juniper. Um, she points to it's there.
All right.
Oh, Sheriff.
Okay, Jeannie, relax. And I sort of, again, kind of thinking she's a bit wacky, walk up slowly to the juniper tree.
You see a white and red piece of fabric as you approach, and it is at the bottom of the tree on the ground.
I bend down and take a closer look.
As you approach this fabric, you recognize that there is a human hand, severed at the wrist, on the ground.
Jesus Christ. I take a look at the hand, and it's like the Wild West. So I pick it up because they don't know anything about anything, right?
And she sort of hollers. She's maybe 20 feet back from the road. Oh, Sheriff! I saw that fabric. I was on my way.
Gene, just take a minute. It's all right. We'll talk in a second.
So you're holding this hand.
Yeah. And I sort of turn it around in my own hand, and I take a look at it. I guess see if anything jumps off.
Yeah.
Hopefully not literally. And that is a success of the regular variety.
It is a right hand.
Okay.
Probably a man's, though it has delicate bone structure.
Okay.
The wrist shows sign of maybe rope burn.
Okay.
The hands are calloused, but clean apart from all the blood.
And what about what they're wrapped in? The white rag or whatever.
Did you pick it up?
Yeah.
There's another hand in there.
Another hand.
Yes, sir. So this is a bundle of fabric that looks like maybe a shirt that has been used to tie up this bundle of hands, 2 hands.
And is it a matching set?
It's another right hand.
Interesting.
This looks like maybe a woman's hand.
Okay.
Similar sign of rope burn. Yep.
And also delicate?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I would say less also delicate, more laborer's hand. Like, similarly calloused.
Jesus Christ. I sort of wipe the sweat from my brow. Take a look at Jeannie. Jeannie, just stay back there for a minute, okay?
Oh, yes, Sheriff?
All right. I'll take a look around the tree, see if there's anything that stands out. With a 27, a critical success.
Lovely.
Not critical, sorry, a hard success.
Hard success. It appears that the bundle was moved from where you had picked it up. It was initially placed right up against the base of the tree. You see a couple of bloodstains there from the place where you found it. Maybe it was a couple of feet away.
And I holler out and say, "Did you touch this at all?"
Yes, Sheriff. I picked it up, and a hand fell out.
All right, darling, don't ever touch anything you find like this, okay? If you ever see anything, you call me and I
You
come.
picked up a hand?
Well, I'm the fucking sheriff.
I'm sorry.
It's just sorry, Jeannie. I'm a bit flustered. Just give me a minute. I look back down at the bundle, So 2 hands in what looks like a white shirt,
Yes.
blood stained. How
From the hand, I presume.
fresh is the blood? I have 1 medicine. Let's try. Maybe I'll get another critical. No, 69.
Probably. You probably will.
Yeah, no, I don't
You
know.
can't tell. It's not immediately evident. It's not like dark brown. The hands aren't decomposing yet.
All right. I take a look around the base of the tree as well. Is that already what my spot hidden? I also want to check the ground around. I'll check the ground around first.
Sure.
For like footprints and something. And that is a regular spot hidden success.
You spy a single solitary boot print in the sand.
Does it crack?
You wouldn't know because it's not the same shoe as the one that had the cracked heel.
It's not even the same boot.
We'll say that it was the left boot that had a cracked heel. This is a right boot print.
Fair.
But looks to be about the same size, yeah.
I'm gonna roll an intellect to see if I know that this is the same boot print, just the other one.
Please do.
A hard success.
I will tell you that you can presume as much. Additionally, it occurs to you that these hands are probably not. They're not Caucasian. They're like light skinned, maybe olive toned. They're not as light as your hands are.
Ooh, okay. Olive tone?
Yeah.
Are they like Native American?
No.
The hell would be olive tone? This is where I'm confused. It's
a couple of families in town who are Chinese.
This
would match.
This is where the line between PC and information. I'm like, because I appreciate where you're coming from, but I just don't know what olive tone means.
Totally.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard from a hand to be like, oh, is this the hand of a Chinese person versus a Caucasian person? But I would think that would probably occur to you.
Definitely, especially in a time when people other than white are so I would know there's limited pretty quickly. I'd be like, oh shit, okay.
Totally.
Which is a really useful piece of information. Okay, so now I have like a lead. Yeah, this is creepy. I'm getting creeped out.
Good.
I stand up and I take a look at the scene again, and so there's a boot print, which I presume within what? Can you give me an accuracy then? Maybe am I 90% sure? 80, 70, 60?
75.
75% sure that it's the same boot print. Okay.
Yeah, and I will also tell you there's nothing left here for you to find.
Brilliant.
So we can move along.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm sorry. That wasn't meant to sound antagonistic.
It's okay. I turn back to Jeannie and I say, Jeannie, I want you to head home. No, I want you to do me a favor, darling. I'm sorry for yelling at you earlier. It's a brutal scene.
That's all right, Sheriff. I'm all shook up also.
I know. I want you to head into town like you did with me. I want you to get Dodie. I want you to tell him that I told you to get him up here with a box, one of those small wooden ones we keep in the cells.
Yeah, Sheriff.
To collect what's up here. Don't tell him anything than that. Just tell him to bring it back to the station, and I'm going to meet him there. In the meantime, if he asks, I'm going to go check out the... Do I know any of the names of the Asian people in town?
Yeah, you know a couple of them.
Do you have them, or do you want me to make them up?
I only know one of them, and to say as much would be telling.
I will say... Well, how am I going to do that then? Will you make up the other two then? That way I'm not...
4 families.
4 families. Why don't you make up the 4 last names? Well, I guess that doesn't matter. I'm gonna head in their direction. I say to her, with whatever their name is. And is that all right, darling? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Anything I can do to help.
Appreciate that. And that list is between us, all right? Just you and me.
Of course, I'll try my best.
I take a few steps away and I stop and I turn around and say, Jeannie, I really need you to promise that this stays between you and me. I'm going to give you a persuade.
Okay.
Makes sense not to just chance it. And I
Sure.
fail. Anyway.
Sheriff, you understand? I'm really shook up. Is it alright if I tell my husband?
Yeah, fine. Tell your husband.
He won't be home from the mines until this evening anyway.
Good. I take a few steps away and I stop. I turn back and say, is there anything special about this tree, this alligator juniper?
Not to me.
This is on your property, though, right?
No.
Oh, shoot, you were just walking by here.
I was just on my way into town.
Is there anything around this?
It's just kind of open land.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Jeannie.
What do you think?
Thanks for doing that for me. Sorry, I had my tongue. Well, okay. I mean, when we do the mid game, I'll start rattling on my
That sounds good.
meta thoughts, or not my meta thoughts, but my real thoughts.
Let's do it.
Because I'm also trying to role play a person from the 1800s that can't dust for fingerprints and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I head downtown towards the.
I think that Jesus decides who's guilty.
It was the Mormons. And I head down to the Asian families.
Cool. Yeah, there's a little Chinatown in fucking Rock Island. And I did do some research on this that's accurate. As soon as there were railroads, there were Chinese communities within a lot of these early settler towns.
Very, very, very common. A lot of them are like slaves.
Yeah, so we have a small community of Chinese families in Rock Island. As you approach, so Rock Island's not a very big town, but there are many districts, clusters of houses. So when you approach the area where the Chinese families are, you notice that there's a woman standing out front of the laundry, which you know to be owned by a Chinese family, and she is impatiently knocking on the front door.
I turn and I walk over and I say, afternoon, ma'am, can I help you?
This is Permelia Sutherland.
Permelia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the wife of one of the men who works at the train station.
Okay.
Permelia is knocking on the door. Oh, Sheriff, I'm just so gosh darn tired of these lazy Chinese.
Why is that?
Well, I was told I'd be able to pick up my laundry today, and the store's shut. Could you bust down the door, please? My husband simply needs his clothes.
I ain't gonna bust
She's
down
like dressed in like a bustle and like a kind of petticoat and a corset and the whole shebang.
Listen, I'm gonna buzz down a door for you just because they're not answering. You don't got your lily whites back to you. You head on home and stop being so rude.
Sheriff, you
Head
simply
on home.
must.
I say now, thinking I'm aware of what's gone down and that there's murder present. So I'm more worried about the people behind this door than some fussy lady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she walks off in a huff. Well, I never.
You're gonna keep on nevering. I'm gonna take a peek around. I'm gonna locksmith the door if I can.
Do it.
Do it, coward.
Do it.
I fail.
You fail. You did do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it doesn't work. So I head around back, see if there's any windows open or if I can jimmy a door out back. I don't want the same asshole coming along banging the door open.
You've never been around back of laundry, but there is a wide wooden deck that's constructed and attached to the back of this building. Several wash tubs are back here, large wash tubs and clotheslines that string across this deck. They are variously bare and full of clothing.
Okay. Yeah, I head towards the back door, see if I can open it.
You can. It is open.
Perfect. Head inside, kind of knock on the door as I can. Howdy.
Yeah.
Take off my hat as I'm inside, and I'm not an animal.
Eerily quiet for nearly noon. You enter into the back room of the laundry. It's a workroom with a large stove for heating water. There's a staircase leading upstairs, and you can see the back of the counter, which separates the shop from the workroom, which would lead to the front door. You can see is barred with a simple wooden bar.
And I kind of start clearing the house with my 6-shooter drawn. I was going to say, no, quietly. I'm just going to stay stealthy throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's very quiet. You can see the entirety almost of the first floor from where you stand, besides maybe behind the front of the counter.
Yeah. Does it look like any signs of a scuffle, tussle?
Why don't you roll spot hidden?
I will, and I failed.
You can't tell.
Yeah. I'm going to head upstairs.
The upstairs is living quarters that consists of a single room. So as you push open the single door, a scene of obscene carnage confronts you.
What do I see?
You see the bodies of Li Wei and Wang Jing Zhao lying on the floor.
Are they missing their hands?
Let me tell you. I would say most shocking of all, Li Wei, the wife, is posed in a sexually explicit manner in death. Her nightgown, soaked in blood, is pulled up around her armpits, exposing her whole torso and lower body. She's clearly been heavily mutilated. There's, sorry guys, 18 plus warning here. Strips of flesh cut from them, hanging limp. There's a lot of blood. Beside her, Wang Jing, also lying on the floor. He is not disrobed. Both of them have their heads wrapped in cloth entirely. And they are missing their right hand.
Jesus Christ. And Ewan turns in the hall and vomits. And we're going to stop there for the mid-game post. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time where we stop the intense action and go to you in the Discord chat.
Woo! Everyone
stuff.
take a breath. Go for a walk.
Everyone take a sanity roll. Very good job, baby, so far. Joe, so far. That's, you're doing a very spooky game.
Spooky accents.
Spooky accents. I love the meat of it. I have to say, I am so happy to be playing an investigative game. I run them, and I love them. I think anyone who knows me has to know that as someone who runs Call of Cthulhu constantly, I am so much a fan of a murder mystery.
Yeah.
This is really, it's exciting. I love trying to solve, which kind of gives me the opportunity to talk about like my thoughts. Obviously, my first thought goes to, why sever the hands? Why leave them in a bundle? They're meant to be found. I.e., this is a serial murderer, or it's meant to do with a purpose. The Asian angle sort of makes it more maybe a targeted murder, a specific reason, but now that I found the bodies, this specific bizarreness of the sexual act and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, it just kind of leaves me very confused in a lot of ways. I don't think, personally, I could be totally wrong, but I don't think it has to do with the first, because it seems unlikely that someone would like get off a train, change their shirts, be as sort of bumbling as like that person was, which sounded like they were like, they stole a horse and all that kind of shit. It's a bit too obvious to then have the forward thought to like get cloth and rope and go into a laundry and like tie them up and strangle them and cut their hands and go through town and drop the hands. They seem two distinct personalities. That's my behind the scenes thoughts.
Very interesting.
Yeah, mind you, and not to be I know that you had an idea for this. Maybe you wanted to rope it in with something else, and then this is something else. But I think they're two separate. Anyway, either way, I love it. I'm very excited. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
But my impulse is unrelated crimes. Anyways, how's everybody doing in the chat this afternoon? Or today? What fucking day is it? Who knows?
It's hard when it's just the two of us to really pay enough attention to the people who have joined us.
This is a good game to do it, though, because I have time to think and stuff. And your descriptions are great. And
we have Mad Meg. We have Venus. Colin Brow. Colin Burkhart. Bjorn. Carly. Blind Sniper. Hi. Da Christmas Git. Hello.
Has everyone liked the video on, I was going to say Facebook, but what
Phil Doggington. Hi. Hi, Marvin.
Make sure you like the video. If you're watching this live, I want to see how many likes we have, but it's very confusing apparently.
Adam Frey. Hello.
Adam is
lots of
Frey.
I'm having a great time.
You're doing great. I'm having a great time too.
I've been excited to run a murder mystery for a while, and it's nice to have you as the player because I like trying to stump you with riddles and such.
Yeah.
Not that this is necessarily like a riddle per se, but
yeah. Am I like totally off base so far?
No, you're doing great. Hi, Langdon. Hi, John. Yeah, no, you're doing wonderful. It's very entertaining for me.
I'm taking good notes too.
I'm proud of you. That's always the best when someone's like, and here are all the notes that I made.
From the kind of person, I've written enough mystery games to respect the craft, to know that taking notes is like key. Which is why I listed all the places: barber, tavern, school, library, laundry, grocery, post office. I only got halfway through before. There was just so many to list.
so many.
I also need to write the names, leeway, and stuff like that. But anyway, mid-game post. So, what should the question be?
Jeep,
Mid-Jeep,
as I like to call it.
Yeah, I'm thinking what?
What's your daddy's name?
What was the name of the horse? Oh, that's a good one. What was my daddy's name? What was Ewan Salt?
Who Ewan Daddy?
Daddy's name.
Bong, bong,
Daddy?
bong, bong.
You daddy? We had a good weekend. Henry's birthday party.
Oh my god, so fun.
We had my brother's, Alex's son over, as well as Chris's lovely daughter over, and the three little babies played.
So cute.
And fought.
Harlan hung up Spider-Man decorations all over the place, streamers and little dangly things.
And then Chris tried to twist my toe.
We inhaled helium. That should be a Patreon exclusive reward, is a clip of you and I inhaling helium balloons.
That'd be good. And then I wrestled Chris to the ground. I put him in a chokehold.
I think you did win the wrestle.
I definitely did. And let everyone know I beat Chris in a wrestle. In a wrestle.
In a Chris-initiated wrestle.
Yeah, so that's, embarrassing for him. Yeah, that was a cute little weekend.
It was really cute.
Shabloobadoo. Make sure you post the answer in the mid-game post section.
Correct.
I think I'm going to have a little bit of a drink. Not a drinky drink, but just...
I was going to say, are you having a beer? Because I don't even have any beer in the house, and I'd be so left out.
I'm not going to have a beer.
Okay.
I'm going to have a other water. You'll see.
Harlan's having a more different water. I myself am drinking a Soda Club.
Soda Club? I want to join the Soda Club.
It's the best club to be in. It's Fable en sodium.
I got another bunch of these.
Another bunch of what's?
These.
Hell yeah.
You boy.
How many calories are in there?
130 for a bottle.
Isn't that like a lot?
Yeah.
It's a lot of sugar, right?
I know. But on the other hand, I want to.
Do you know what can is in French?
Yeah, can. With an N and an E, isn't it?
Canette. Canette. That's funny.
God, I'm a sucker for this vitamin water. This stuff is so stupid, but I love it.
What's that one? It's got vitamin C in it?
Dragon fruit, vitamin C.
Fucking hell. Are you going to start breathing fire?
So far, no answers are right.
To be fair, you only said it once or twice,
I know.
and
I think
it
it's
could
a
have
tough
been.
one. Let's change it. What was the name
Okay.
of the dog? The horse that was stolen.
Oh, that's a good horse name. I was really pleased with myself when I came up with that name. I was like,
Of course you were. The answer for the previous one was Harden.
it's like Harlan, but with a D.
You know what?
Whoops.
Harlan's got a D.
Oh, is that like a
D's
sexy
for
joke?
dick.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have a penis.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, confirmed. Confirmed.
A plus.
Oh.
Oh.
3, 4, 5 answers. 6.
Oh.
John fucked it up.
People know about the horse because
Yeah.
they're so into the name Jeepers.
Whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. I'm sorry.
4, 5, 6. I'm cutting it off at 7. We're doing
Nice
a D6.
joke.
Oh no, that doesn't make
Fucked
sense.
it
A D8. We'll do 8. 8. That's a reroll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scott. If John wasn't such a goofball and didn't fool around, he would have gotten it. But instead, it is Mr. Scott R.
Congratulations, Scott.
Well done, Scott. He's been playing
Good
The
job.
Elder Scrolls 5 for 32 minutes,
But he's been listening.
apparently. I don't
'Cause I
believe
know.
him.
Did we want to give Justin another shout out? You said that you give him one at Mid Game
Yeah,
Post.
he's not watching this.
Justin,
Justin! If you're watching this,
you suck.
I like you.
Yeah, just kidding. You're awesome.
I'm going to teach you how to cook something delicious.
What are you guys gonna do next?
I don't know. Pasta.
Pasta. Homemade pasta?
Pasta dinner?
He doesn't have the special machine.
Dinner? No. No. But I'll make him pasta that I make for Henry, which is 1 packet of ramen noodles and 1 marinara sauce from leftover pizza.
He loves it.
Honestly, it's kind of fucking perfect. It's super fast, super cheap. He loves it, and it's filling. And look at this little tiny turd boy back here.
Nutrition is a question mark, but
Well-
kids need vitamin gummies. It's
No,
fine.
but I mean, like, he eats good. He eats vegetables and all that. He's a tablet set up. You're crazy, Scott. I'm stuck in the tablet. Oh, no.
I like it. Wait.
You're going to be crickets. And for you phone watchers, I'm stuck in a phone. Dun, 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 dun. Fuck that guy.
Well, and that's the end of the game. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us return to Arizona Salt.
So Ewan Salt vomits on
Yeah.
his shoes, on his cowboy boots, on the second floor of the laundry. After seeing the corpses of Li Wei and Wang Jing Zhao. What happens next?
Wang Jin.
Wang Jing, Wangjing, and Li Wei, Liwei.
Zhao.
Zhao.
Well, I'm writing it phonetically so I don't forget. Oh boy, wow. Yeah, I holster my gun, take a second to breathe, remove my hat, pull my kerchief over my mouth probably. And yeah, I'm gonna examine. Just to understand, you said that Li Wei
Yes.
has her nightgown pulled up to her armpits, so her breasts and her everything below is naked and revealed.
Correct.
Is she in a sexual position as well?
Yes.
What position is that?
It's not important for
Okay.
the story. I don't really feel like describing
No,
that, but we
listen.
can
If
all
it's
use
not
our
important, that's all you need
imaginations.
to say. I just need to ask because if it is important and you're like, well, you never asked, then okay. So that's fine. That's more than. Does it imply that the murderer was intimate?
Great question. Why don't you roll spot hidden
Perfect.
or psychology or something?
Let's
Let's roll a
do
dice.
spot hidden for now.
Joke.
I never thought I'd have to roll for this in a game. I did not succeed, so I'll have to roll again for it later. I will put a pin in that. I think narratively,
It is unclear whether the perpetrator committed act of sexual violence. I'll say that.
okay. For now, I might reveal something that's sort of
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not guess on the positions, people. Let's just leave it as like not important. And the
She's
male.
dead, so I doubt it's cowgirl.
Yeah, that's gross. Oh, I just got the joke, Scott. Well done. Well done. I think I'm going to. Both their faces are covered in cloth with rope around their neck.
No.
No, they're just tight.
Do you move the bodies?
Not yet. I'm just gonna see is what I can see without touching.
Both of their hands are tied behind their back, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
But they are laying on their backs, so it's kind of difficult to see.
Are they side by side?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense, actually, because
does?
they're missing their hands.
Yeah. Well, they can still
So
be tied behind their
no.
back. They could be tied at the wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
So you wouldn't see immediately that they're missing their hands.
Are there pools of blood beneath them?
Yes.
Sorry, this is just going to be a lot of me trying to understand the scene as clearly as I can. I hope that's okay with you.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to understand what I should be giving you for free and what I need to make you roll for.
Definitely. I'm going to roll psychology on a very important one. I don't have any advantages, so I'm just going to guess and hope I succeed. I fail. I wanted to know if the scene looked like it was presented.
I will say that it is easy to notice as you are looking around the room from the doorway that there is a stack of dishes, plates and cups mostly, stacked up beside the bodies. That looks out of place.
Beside the bodies, it's stacked on the floor? Interesting. How many dishes? Like 10 or 2?
Like 6, 7?
It's like a good stack of dishes and plate and cups.
Yep.
Bizarre. Okay. And the man is wearing just plain clothes.
Night clothes.
Night clothes. So both were attacked at night. That's really important. Okay. I didn't know if he made her wear a nightgown or what. Both not wearing shoes, presumably.
Correct.
But he is still fully clothed.
Yep.
Pajamas, for lack of a better.
Okay. It's hard to tell through all the blood, but yeah, they look like pajamas.
How was he actually killed?
Do you approach the body, look at it up close?
I'm going to be doing as much as I can to avoid touching any blood. I don't want to stand in it just yet, and moving the bodies. If any of these requests require that, just let me know, and then I'll push them till after.
You can't really tell with him. With her, it's pretty clear she's been stabbed a lot of times in the torso.
Okay. And you said strips of flesh have been peeled away from her stomach?
Yeah, both of them. His arms, maybe.
Okay. Oh, but he's still wearing clothes? So it's under his arm. So he's bleeding through his clothes.
Yeah.
So he was dressed after this.
Hard to say.
Okay, so I'll have to check. Okay, let's just deal with one at a time so I don't forget. So there's a man without shoes, wearing pajamas, bleeding through his clothes. His face is wrapped in cloth that's tied, not with a rope, but like the cloth is tied.
Yes.
And can I see the expression of his face underneath at all, or is it just totally white?
No, you can't see.
And there's no blood through the white cloth?
Not so much that you would expect vicious injury underneath.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with him, I guess,
Okay.
because it makes sense to sort of... the pool of blood that's beneath him, it seems like it's coming from behind him, his back, like where his hands are, or is it or all over his body?
Why don't you roll spot hidden?
Yeah. Hard success.
There was a lot of blood underneath him, significant amount. It appears that he, from the like drag marks and from the spatter in the blood underneath him, it appears that he would have been flipped over.
He was flipped to face the ceiling.
From being prone to supine, or the other way around.
Sorry. He was flipped from his lying on his
So
face.
he was flipped from being prone to supine. So he was lying on his stomach and now he's lying on his back.
Okay. I don't know what supine means. That's all you
It's
say.
just like this versus this.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, he was killed on his stomach and then flipped onto his back.
You're not sure if he was killed on his stomach, but he was definitely moved.
Okay. He didn't die lying on his hands, which makes sense anyway. Okay, so I'm going to roll him over.
Okay.
And,
you discover he's missing a hand.
yeah, the right, I assume.
Mhm.
Rope is still bound on his arms.
The rope is loosely attached to his left arm.
Okay. I'm gonna roll him back, and I'm gonna unbutton his pajamas.
Yeah. So removing his shirt reveals a number of stab wounds to his torso, to his back. He was stabbed probably, you would assume, 20, 30 times. These wounds are inflicted through the shirt.
Oh, okay. So I could see them, but the blood just made it tough to see.
Yeah.
Any strips of flesh carved off of him?
Some from his arms.
Just his arms. Okay. And I remove the cloth from his face.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing to look into the eyes of a dead man. This is someone who you knew not intimately, but you knew him in passing. You knew his name.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything gagged in his mouth, though?
No.
So I stand up and say to myself and the audience, then wouldn't have people heard him screaming? I'm going to do a spot hidden in his mouth to see if there's flakes of cotton, something that would have used to gag him. Because to me, if you're being stabbed multiple times, you're going to make a hell of a lot of noise. Unless he was strangled and stabbed post-mortem, but it seems like a lot of stab wounds for post-mortem. And his face is sort of a weird... Are there bruise marks? Sorry, I didn't see in his mouth. Are there bruise marks around his neck?
I mean, you can roll spot hidden or medicine.
Medicine is garbage, so I'm going to roll, and I failed as well, so I can't see. I'm going to take a pause, and I'm going to walk over to the bed.
Okay.
And look through the bedroom.
There's quite a lot of blood on the mattress.
Yeah, I figured. For both sides of the mattress?
No.
Which side?
Just in the middle.
In the middle of the mattress?
Yes. Like, if there's someone lying there, it's not on the left side or the right side, it's in the middle.
So it's only one person's lying in bed that got stabbed, or like pooled in the center?
The first.
Only one person was killed in bed?
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
what you would presume.
Interesting. Is there blood splatter on the walls as well?
Sure, why not?
It was a violence of passion. Okay. No murder weapon, obviously, yet. Let's not worry about that. We'll come back to the bedroom. So I come back to the man, Wang Jin. Ewan at this point is like he's sweating, but unlike his daddy, Ewan's always had sort of there are different type of lawmen. They're the ones who draw quick and lay a man out and don't get upset by a corpse. Ewan was sort of the other side, the one that usually would get upset at an innocent man's hanging, and the scene before him is absolutely stomach churning. Yet Ewan has an intellect about him, a cold, cool understanding that makes this scene also a mystery in which to solve. He's able to put the horrific nature of the scene into a small box within his stomach, swallow that, and focus on the task at hand. And as he wipes the beads of sweat from his forehead, his mind turns over all the possibilities before him. And, okay, nothing else comes up for the man right now. I'm going to look at the woman. So again, she has her nightgown pulled up. Are the stab wounds made through the nightgown and it was pulled up afterwards, or are the stab wounds made into her not through the nightgown?
There are no stab wounds on the nightgown.
Okay, so it was lifted up and then she was stabbed. This is the front of her as well, correct? I'm looking at right now. I mean, I haven't flipped her over yet.
It's the front.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see stab wounds on the front of her.
And the strips of flesh were carved from her stomach?
From her torso and limbs.
Okay.
Just kind of smorgasbord.
But she's completely naked from above the breasts down, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. I flip her over. Assume her right hand is also missing?
Yes.
Still bound?
Yes.
And then look under her mask as well, or cloth as well.
Yeah, a mask of terror.
Same thing.
It's the last thing will ever be on her face.
I'll look in her mouth too to see if there's anything that gagged her. This is a hard success.
You don't see anything.
Again, interesting. Okay. The apartment is this is sort of the living room. There's a bedroom, which I've checked. Is there anywhere else in this apartment?
So this is a one-room living area that's on top of the laundry.
Yeah.
It's not a big building.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around for the second crime scene. Does it look like there's knife marks into the floor from through her, maybe?
Underneath her?
Yeah.
No. Why don't you roll spot hidden for me?
Yeah. Success.
You noticed a significantly less amount of blood underneath Li Wei than underneath Wang Jing.
So Li Wei was killed in bed, and Wang Jing was killed out here. I don't know if there was sexual violence. I mean, I could say it's the 1880s. I'm probably going to assume there was, because it's a woman. I think that would just be the natural thing for him to assume anyway. He's just like, well, especially the sexual nature of which she's presented, which again, I'm presuming is a specific sexual position, not just, I turn around and shut the door behind me, and I'm going to investigate the lock to see if it was broken, picked, or anything.
There's no lock on this door.
Right. The back door was open. Was there a lock on the back door?
No.
Meaning it wasn't even possible to lock the back door.
Just closed.
No, sorry. What I mean to say is there a lock on the back door that was open when I walked through it, or there's no lock?
There's no lock. There's a lock on the front door, but not on the back door.
Interesting. So the person could just walk in here anyway. Okay, so
lock your doors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess the suspect or the killer.
Perp.
The perp. I'm gonna say killer. Definitely did it. They came in here. headed to the bedroom. I mean, either they killed Wang Jing first here on the floor silently, stabbed him 30 times without him screaming, and then moved to the bedroom, had sex with the woman maybe, and then stabbed her multiple times, and then moved her out here, tied them up, and then removed their hands.
There's no out here versus bedroom. It's all one room.
Yeah, but I mean, one was killed on the floor, one was killed in the bed.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I just mean to say it'd be like one and then the other. So there must have been someone hearing screams. Also, I'm going to look at the hands that were cut off. Did they look like they were done post-mortem? I guess medicine roll. My medicine's like 10.
That would be a medicine roll.
This is going to suck. Yeah, no fucking idea. But I have to assume they were done post-mortem. But then why tie the hands? Okay. Tying the hands says, first and foremost, this is too much of a mystery for a stream because I'm just going to be talking like this.
Sorry.
No, I'm enjoying it. Just they can go. Sorry, people. They can figure it out. Tied
this
hands.
This is a game for you, Harlan.
I know. Tied hands to me means they weren't killed instantly. Okay. Because it's the only way it would have worked. Man breaks in, holds them both at knife point, ties their hands. He makes Wang Jin kneel on the floor while he has sex with his wife. The question is, unless there's signs of gagging, why wouldn't... They're not going to be both killed at the same time. The minute one was killed, he starts stabbing the woman, the guy is going to freak out. So either his neighbors heard screaming and ignored it, which would answer a lot, or somehow the guy just stayed there until he killed him again. He might have knocked him out, but that seems less likely. Then afterwards, both of their hands were cut off, wrapped in a shirt, probably from the laundry downstairs, and dumped by a tree to give a warning of some sort. Night clothes, stacks... Oh, the dishes! Why the dishes? I walk over to the stack of dishes and the cups. I'm going to roll a spot hidden, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Extreme with a 2.
It is lightly flecked with blood, the stack is. They match a set that the matching dishes are in a cupboard on the opposite side of the room beside a small table and chairs.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's it. There's just a stack of 6 and 6 cups.
It's not 6 and 6. We'll say we have 4 plates and 2 cups stacked all together and laid beside the bodies.
But there's blood on them, which means, again, they were stacked before the murder.
Mm-hmm.
And just the murder of Wang Jin. Well, not... I mean, they could have been done at the same time. So why stack 4 plates? For height? Maybe a photograph? Was photography invented in this time?
If it was, it certainly wasn't popular.
Yeah. Do I even know anything about photography? No, I don't. So I wouldn't even be able to tell if it was like for a stand, which again, I would doubt it. I'm going to do a spot hidden for anything else generally in the room. Tons of spot hiddens, I guess. Success. Regular.
You recognize the rope that is used to tie their hands as rope that was taken from the laundry downstairs, probably clothesline.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only additional piece of information that I have for you.
Okay. Are there any boot stains in the blood of the killer?
Sure, yeah.
And do any of them have a cracked heel?
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay, so it is the same scene. Or scene killer. That seems really interesting. Why not kill Morris then? And I sit down in the corner of the room. Catch my breath.
Sit down on the blood-soaked bed.
No.
You lay back. The blood soaks into your shirt.
And I smoke a cigarette as I think and ponder.
Think and or ponder.
A killer hops off a train, changes his clothes. 20 minutes away from killing somebody if he was really that interested, but he came into town, walked straight to the laundromat, went upstairs, before bed, caught husband and wife, tied them up, made the man watch while he defiled his wife, killed her, killed him, moved the bodies out, and stacked dishes. Why on earth would he stack the dishes before he killed her, or killed him? And how the hell did no one hear it? Can I check the minds, not the minds, can I check the mouths of them one more time?
You won't find anything, baby.
So they weren't gagged. How the fuck weren't they gagged? Why weren't they gagged? And how didn't they scream? Well, I'm gonna check the neighbors. So I head downstairs, I guess. I'll do a spot hidden in the main area here. Obviously Twine was taken, so maybe he left some clue, which I doubt. And I don't see anything anyway.
Yeah, there's a bloody heel print or two, which you would expect from the upstairs massacre. But apart from that, no new information.
Also possible they changed his clothes. This is the laundromat. Very unlikely that he would keep the same shirt. So my description of the man is done, other than the cracked boot heel. I'll check out back by the wash basins, I guess. Take a little look-see around-y again. See if there's any direction in which the man went.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't see anything.
Yeah, the only thing you put together is like, oh, yep, there. I see where the line was cut down from where it used to hang. This is where he got the clothesline.
Yeah. Thank God my wife's not around here. Okay, well, I mean, I start heading back to Doty and the jailhouse.
Yeah, cool. Doty is not there because you told him to go elsewhere.
Collect the hands, yeah. But I can't
so he's
imagine.
probably back by that
Yeah,
time.
I was going to say. And I catch him inside. Do you take a look in that box?
Oh, yes, I did, sir. What do you reckon?
There's two dead Asians that match that. Li Wei Zhao and Wang Jing Zhao, both brutally murdered, stabbed multiple times in their house.
That's a shame.
It's more than a shame. Looks like it was the guy that came in through Morris's farm up north. Sit on his shirt made me think he might be from the train.
If there's someone to find him, it's gonna be you. Got any leads?
Not off the top of my head. Let me roll an idea, because I could think, but honestly, we're trying to do a live show.
Yeah.
And I could spend time. Give me a minute to think, because I'm excited.
Of course.
Okay.
How is everyone? Everyone's having a nice show.
So he left,
So
obviously.
fucking-
Why would he leave the arms, the hands? I could kind of knock around doors. Why the plates?
For those of you who are interested in true crime and promise not to tell Harlan some of the motivations or details about this killer, I have stolen details about this crime scene. No hints. You may not.
Pramila Sutherland was the train wife, right? I mean,
Yeah, she's the wife of the ticket collector
my
at this
thinking
station.
would be as thin as it is would be the train, but my guess is there a station near Morris Ruffner's place?
I mean, the station is on the way out of town, so it's on the outskirts in the direction of his place, yes.
I mean, my thinking was this killer hopped from the train, but maybe it'd be worthwhile to check the... Oh, I never checked the neighbors, did I? I'm going to head back and see if anyone heard any screams. I forgot to do that.
Sure.
Got too
Yeah,
caught up
so you
in
could
moving.
door knocking.
Yeah. Hi.
Mrs. Chan opens the door.
Konnichiwa. That's not...
That is Japanese. Hi.
I kind of figured he's ignorant, but also trying.
Yeah.
And he just asked.
How do I say howdy?
Howdy, partner. Did you hear anything from the Zhao residence the other night? Maybe some screams, something like that. See any suspicious characters coming to and from?
Last night,
Yeah.
uh, I did hear a commotion, yes.
Can you tell me exactly what you heard and about what time you heard it?
Some shouting. Um, After the children went to bed. Maybe 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
I thought maybe it was a tavern fight.
Did they say anything specific or just some general shouting?
I couldn't make out anything. Just sounded like some brawl.
And you didn't hear anything or see anyone leave from that place after dark?
Let me think. Well, I remember I looked out the window. Um, I saw a man. Yes, I saw a man ride by on a horse.
The horse wasn't a brown stallion, was it?
It was dark colored horse. It was dark outside, you understand.
Right. Did you see where he was heading? What direction?
I didn't pay much attention, Sheriff.
Right. Anything else you can think of? Anything that'd be useful?
Mm. His face was dark.
You mean like a dark skinned man, or it was just dark out?
Mm. He could have been wearing a mask,
Mm.
or maybe was just catching some shadow.
Fair enough. Either way, thank you for your thought. And I sort of leave. Shake the thought from my head. How close is the tavern from this place? Second tavern.
Like, you know, for 60 meters away.
I'll take a swing by there.
Yeah. The second tavern?
Yeah, the one I hadn't been to yet.
Um, yeah, it's just afternoon, so there's a couple people having some lunch. Bartender waves you over. Sheriff, what'll it be?
Howdy, Willoughby.
No, what'll it be?
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
apologies. I'm a bit
I
stupid.
got a toothache and I've been slurring
No,
something.
it's all good. Say, let me ask you a question. Do you hear anything coming from the Zao place the other night?
Um, Not that I can remember. It gets awful loud in here at nights, as you well know, Sheriff. Is there something the matter?
I was looking for a man who might have been poking around there. Seems to be a little bit of trouble that way. Did you run into any suspicious characters coming in the last day or so?
Oh, not suspicious, no. The usual crew. Miners have been thirsty. Couple of strangers off the railway.
Yeah, which strangers are that?
There's a couple who's out prospecting, they say. I think it's a secret honeymoon, but who's to say? They made their way on, and well, that's all I can remember.
Just a couple, no other strangers?
Not in the last couple days, no.
All right. What about anyone with a mask? Anything cut in the face?
Um, well, now that you mention it, I do recall a taller man, uh, who had kind of a strange, yeah, strange mask.
Really?
Looked in on the tavern last night, but it didn't come in. Thought he was maybe playing a joke.
Tell me about his mask, what he looked like, anything like that?
Looked like a scrap of leather or something with eye holes cut out of it. I figured it was one of the Kootenai boys playing a trick on me.
Why'd you think that?
You know I don't scare easy. Well, 'cause last Hallows Eve, one of them Kootenai boys brought a rotten pumpkin in here and it smelled something awful. I couldn't find it.
Fair enough. Did you see which way he was heading, maybe?
No, he just looked in and gave him a once over. I
Nice.
figured them boys probably looking for a rise out of me,
It's a piece of leather on his face with eye holes.
Something like leather,
All right.
maybe wood.
You
I
see him
didn't get a good
again,
look at him.
yeah, you see him again, you let me know. Maybe give me an idea where he came from, where he's going. All right?
Of course.
Appreciate that. And I head out to the street, take a look around. Man with a leather mask. Jeez. Leaving signs for us. And I start heading back towards the sheriff's station.
Sure. Is there anything else specific that you would like to do?
I don't think so. I can't imagine I have enough. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't think I have enough information. I don't think there's anything I missed.
So
I mean, I
I
go to the
would,
train station, but
yeah,
is
I
it gonna be
mean,
fruitless?
nothing unusual seen there.
Put it this way: I would be doing the regular stuff. I would go to the train station. I would ask around. I can't imagine anything would come of it, though. Hey, did you see a tall guy walk off with a soot-covered shirt? Is that a fruitless endeavor? I'll do it if it has any chance of
It
popping.
it is fruitless.
Yeah, that was sort of my take. That's why I didn't push it. Okay, then yeah, no, I tell Dottie everything. People in town learn of the murders because I can't keep that shit hidden, and cordon off that area and move on with life, I guess.
Yeah. 6 weeks go by, and nothing else happens in this little town.
Over the past 6 weeks, though, the sort of more comfortable demeanor that I had is a lot colder. The images of what I had seen with the Zows, it sort of affects me in a way that I'm surprised. The howdy greetings still exist, but there's still a uncertainty behind my eyes and comfortableness on the mornings. A doubt that every morning I wake up I'm going to find more blood.
The community mourns the Zows once they learn of the murders. 2 graves are added to the small community graveyard out back of the church. And as you say, life goes on. The laundry is purchased by another family. How do you spend your days, Sheriff? There's not a lot of action in town.
It takes about 2 weeks for me to sort of get back into feeling myself again. For the 2 weeks afterwards, I follow up on the train. I follow up on Morris again. I ask him things. I kind of cover everything I wouldn't have covered on that first day. But as
You
the
go over it and over it in your mind.
yeah, but as the murder and as the date passes and becomes farther and farther, eventually it comes back to regular life. I head into town, spend the day at Doty's, going to the bar, always on the lookout for a leather mask or any sort of rumblings of that horse or that gun, anything that sort of flares my ears up. But beyond that, other than my personality slightly changing, life is normal.
6 weeks from the date of the murder, you receive a telegram when you were hanging out at the sheriff's, not sheriff's station, the jailhouse.
Yeah, bring it here.
Telegram!
Yeah. I take it from the dumb little shit. Go home. Your mom don't pay you enough.
And it reads thusly.
Howdy, Salt and Doty Sims. Stop. Sterling could use a second set of eyes. Stop. 6 murders at least. Stop. Sheriff Kelly. Sterling, isn't that nearby town, Doughty?
Yeah, Sheriff. That's just on down the rail line.
Second set of eyes on murder.
What's that?
It's a telegram from Sterling. It says I could use some help on one of their cases. They got 6 murders up there.
Is that from Sheriff Wyatt?
No, Kelly.
Wyatt Kelly, yeah. He and your dad go way back.
Is he a good man?
Well, a bit of an ego on him. Must be some real trouble there if he's asking for help.
What do you think? You think you can hold down law here for a little bit?
You kidding me? I'll be fine.
You're not too old with that gun.
We'll see about that.
And the murder sort of runs over me. It makes me a bit uncomfortable, and I look to Dodie and say, I wonder if this has anything to do with what we dealt with 6 weeks back.
Could be.
I think I'm going to check it out. It's only, what, a day's ride?
Yeah, it's about a day's ride, or you could take the rail if you're interested in leaving your horse behind.
I don't want to leave my horse behind, but how long would the rail take me?
It's about maybe 2 hours.
Sounds a lot better.
Maybe 3. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll give me a loaner. All right, Dottie, I'm gonna take the train. Shouldn't be
All
bad.
right.
I shouldn't be longer than a few days.
You take care of yourself.
Yeah, I'll send a telegram about when I arrive and what to do. And keep me posted as well, all right?
Please do.
Then I pack up my stuff, all my important implements, and I buy a train ticket to head out to Sterling.
Lovely. You do so, and you arrive at Sterling. It's a smaller town than Rock Island. The town was built up around a year-round freshwater source, so farming is the primary occupation here. As you travel into town, you pass cotton fields, wheat, corn. There's a couple of citrus orchards. It's very pretty. As it is a smaller town, there are fewer buildings, but there is a sheriff's office built beside the rail station. No real jailhouse here, just a one cell in the sheriff's station.
And after a pretty comfortable 2-hour ride and a short nap, I get off the train and head directly to the station and knock on the door. Lean
Come in.
And I say, looking for Sheriff Kelly.
And a tall man with graying hair stands up. Well, you must be Hardin's boy.
Yeah, that's me. Got your telegram.
Spitting image.
Well, appreciate it. How you doing?
We've been better around here.
Yeah, I got your telegram. Came as soon as I heard. Says you need a bit of hand. 6 murders in how long?
Well, it's hard to say, Sheriff.
Why's that?
Well, we had the 6 murders discovered yesterday.
All 6 of them at once?
Well, it's a family, you see.
Oh.
And we had another death a couple of weeks out, but popular opinion's that wolves are responsible. I'm not so sure.
Wolves?
Yeah. She was found in the woods, torn to shreds, poor thing.
Who's the young girl?
Little Anna Shawn, yeah, 14.
You think it's unrelated?
It's hard to say.
Was there anything distinct about the body? Was she missing a hand?
No, sir.
What was her name?
Why'd you ask? That's an interesting question.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion that these 6 murders might have been losing their hand too. Is that true?
Oh, I don't think so. I haven't actually been out myself.
All right. But before we head out there, I'm going to tell you a real story. And I tell him about the murder that we had 6 weeks ago and the details of it and blah, 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 blah.
Could be the bone collector.
Bone collector. Why do you think that? And who's that?
Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
You gotta keep your ear to the ground in this job, Sheriff Salt.
What's the story?
Well, some people think it's an urban legend. I myself tend to put a little bit of credence into stories like this. Folk around these parts say one of the Apache got himself a bit touched in the head, if you know what I mean. Left his people and started reign of terror. Riding into town, riding out of town, taking women and children with him. Making a bone collection. They say he's got a A cape of bones, a saddle full of bones.
Well,
Now, if you describe someone taking a hand off of your victims, could be something similar.
yeah, the difference is they left the hand for me to find.
Well, maybe you just perceptive.
Maybe. Anyway, this first girl died a few weeks back. What did you say your name was?
A little Anna Shone.
Anna Shawn?
That's right.
And you said you found her in the woods, eaten by wolves?
Yes.
Who found her?
Townsfolk.
Alright. Nothing special about her body. Most of it was eaten by the wolves.
Yes, well, I mean, from what was left of her, they were able to identify her to her parents, but you never want to show that
Did
to.
parents say anything special about where she was doing that day? Maybe just walking off in the woods, or was she taken from home, or what?
Yeah, she was out looking for forage berries. You know, youngins like to make their own way.
Yeah, they do. Most of the time they come back, though. It's not likely for wolves to be attacking a young girl like that, especially not in the summer. There's plenty of food for them to eat.
Well, it's possible.
No, I agree. Seen enough of it out my way, too, but I don't know. Something sets off about it. Anyway, 6 murders, you said. What do you know about it before we head out there?
Well, it's William Munns and his family. He's a wealthy type, farmer.
Munn, you
He
said?
Munds, Munds, found in his home, slain with his wife and 4 children.
Alright. Other than that, that's all you know?
Well, him being wealthy tends to have farm hands, especially during the summer season. So they've been questioned by myself, haven't found any culpable types.
Well, let me head out there with you. You got a horse I can borrow?
Yeah, of course. He leads you around to the side where the stable is.
Yeah, and the two of us take a ride out to the Mund residence.
The Munns place is impressive for the 1880s. As you ride up, you see several different kinds of crops, again, similar to the ones that you saw as you were riding in. There's a couple of outbuildings, grain silo, and this gorgeous mansion. Long laneway.
It's a gorgeous place. You have any trouble with the Munns? Do they have any enemies in town?
Not that I know of. They go to church, they pay their taxes. You know, apart from people, I would imagine, maybe being jealous of those of us who come into this world with a little extra.
But you never had any reason to think there was anything malicious about them, huh?
Never. Never ever.
Let's see what we can see. And I head inside and walk in the front door.
Yeah, inside you come to a front hall. There is a sitting room off to one side. There's a staircase leading up. There's a narrow hallway that leads around behind the staircase. What room are you looking for?
I guess I turn to him and I say, where are the moves taking?
Well, as I said, I haven't been here particularly. I don't have a stomach for it myself.
Right, well, just tell me where you found them, or where whoever found them, and who found them, by the way.
Well, one of the house's staff, a cleaner, cook type, as far as I know, found the bodies in the master bedroom.
And you cleared all the staff?
Yes, sir.
All right.
The corpses have been cleared away as well.
Oh. Well, what am I here for then? If you already got the corpses out of here.
We can't just be letting dead bodies sit around all day and
I
night.
don't disagree, but where'd you keep them? You ought to bury them?
I'm sorry?
Did you already bury them?
Indeed.
And you didn't even know if they had the hands missing?
Excuse me. Would you like to perform an exhumation?
Yeah. You head back into town. I'll meet you there and do an exhumation of all 6 bodies. I mean, you're the sheriff of this town, no?
Well, yeah, but I've got other things to tend
Don't
to.
give me that bullshit. 6 murders in your town. You got other things. You couldn't even look at the goddamn bodies. God, Donnie said that my daddy respected you. That's foolish lawmaking right there. Just
Now you listen to me, Sheriff Salt.
you gonna step on me? I'm down here helping you.
You hear my request, and I can just as well request that you leave.
Well, do you want that, or do you want to solve the 6 murders in this house? Because so far you haven't done nothing to really solve it.
You best take a leaf out of your daddy's book and respect me.
Listen, we're off to the wrong start. Could you please exhume those 6 bodies? And I'll do persuade, I guess.
Sure.
What an idiot. Ooh, fail. Bad.
He leads you back out onto the front porch of the house, gestures at a shed, and he says, "There's probably a shovel in there. Why don't you do it?"
Happily, at least one of the 2 of us can be a lawman. And I want to check out upstairs first, I guess, because I'm
Sure.
sweaty. So I'm gonna check the master bedroom.
Yeah. So
Curse this
you.
guy under my breath as I walk upstairs. Fucking idiot.
Sorry.
And curse this guy out under my breath as I walk upstairs. Fucking stupid.
So you find a scene that is very reminiscent of the one that you found in the laundry 6 weeks earlier. Despite the fact that there are no bodies here to examine, there are numerous bloodstains. There are strips of fabric that are lying around the room, some still tied to the bed frame. It's a 4-post bed.
Okay.
And you notice a pile of dishes.
Another pile of dishes. Same 4 high, 2 glasses.
It's approximate. It's not exact.
And the strips, do they look like they were tied off at some point?
Yep.
On the poster on the bed.
Yes. There's one that is still tied.
I'll do a spot hidden, I guess.
Sure.
I'm going to assume that someone was tied to the bed and sexually assaulted, and then people were forced to watch. I'm going to spend 8 of my luck points.
Okie doke. What does that give you?
7, 8. A success.
You match the fabric that is being tied into ligatures as having come from this room. There's a drape missing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
these are improvised devices.
Interesting.
You notice some stab marks into the mattress of the bed.
Not
And
unlike the other murder.
sorry?
Not unlike the other murder.
That's right. And what else do you see? How? Sorry, this is a spot hidden.
Just a regular, yeah.
That's all you find.
Is there any of the help currently in the house, or
Not currently in the house.
is the sheriff still here?
He's sort of futzing around, lighting a cigarette on the front porch.
I
If you
head
want
back
him
down
to.
to this futzing idiot and I say, you, the help. How many people they had employed here?
Place like this, I reckon about 3.
Yeah, you questioned them. You said
I did.
any of them recent hires?
No, not that I know of. Angus McKinnon's been with the family for almost 30 years.
You better ought to.
Josephine Bowders, she's maybe 5 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miguel Martinez, he's a nice boy.
And how long been with
Couple,
the family?
couple years, really. I think since he was just out of school.
1 year, 2 year, 3, 4.
Maybe 3 years.
Mm. And I light a cigarette and stand next to him. Oh, did you step in shit?
What? No. He looks at the bottoms of his shoes.
And I check to see if there's a crack in his heel.
You gonna roll it?
Sure. A 1.
Are you kidding?
An absolute critical.
This is your second critical.
Yeah.
You don't see a split in his shoe. But as you are glancing around the house, you notice movement by one of the outbuildings. A figure moves behind a it's like a bunkie sort of.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't know how much I can trust this guy. I get a real weird vibe from him by being so inept. Before I act on that, can I do a quick psychology roll on him? Which I probably should have done before checking his heels, but I kind of thought it'd be a cute way to...
It is cute. I liked it very much.
If he was
I
the
give
killer,
you
how cute
inspiration.
would that have been?
You know what? You can have inspiration.
Can I? Yay. Success on a... What am I doing? Oh, no, psychology. 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 4 points left. I'm going to spend it to make it a success. I want to know if this guy is on the up and up. Is he just inept? Is that the right word? Or is he
hiding
sinister
something?
or malicious? Is he just dumb by not asking? Like, the fact that he didn't want to look at the blood and the fact that he didn't check the bodies, to me, seems like cover up. Is he just dumb?
Sure. He is a stubborn son of a bitch who is too egotistical to recognize the fact that he should have retired a long time ago.
Okay, just checking.
And he's not interested in this job anymore. He's interested in being the sheriff, not in doing sheriff work.
Okay, well, we can change that. Then that's fine. I can deal with that. To me, the only descriptor that I have of the killer is that he's tall. And the first thing you said to this guy was like, he's a tall man with graying hair. I was like, Then the inept, I was like, The shoe cleared it, so
that's fair.
So I'm gonna not even change my posture and just say, there's a man behind the outbuilding to my left there. Don't look. I'm gonna bolt to the left of it. I want you to draw your pistol and swing right and cut him off. Don't shoot him. But we're gonna try to stop him so I can question him regardless of who he is, okay?
All right, you're the boss.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll bolt to the left of the outbuilding and see if he goes right.
And yeah, he just runs away. No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine? He's like that bad.
What did he say? Where are we going?
Yeah, and we do a little maneuver, a little pincer maneuver to try to stop the person from running away.
Yeah, Sheriff Kelly runs faster than you would expect a man of his years to run, and he's got his pistol drawn at his waist.
Yeah.
And as the two of you cut around both sides of this building, you surprise a man who was standing conspicuously doing nothing, basically, behind this building.
Yeah, and I draw on them and I say, "What's your name?"
Ah!
Oh, John Cirelli. Oh.
Ah! I don't want to actually scream.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Ah!
It's-
James! My name's James.
What are you doing here, James? And I walk up and I start patting him down for a gun.
I work here.
He obviously has a gun, right?
James?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a gun on him.
Really? Who doesn't carry a gun around this time?
Farmhand?
Even farmhands had guns. Are you kidding? Gotta kill a
All right, he's got 20 guns.
Does he?
No.
You work here? I push him up against the side of the building. I say, and I turn to the sheriff. I say, "I thought you said only 3 people work here."
I'm a farmhand. The sheriff gestures at the building. He's like, well, only 3 people work in the house. You understand?
Right. And I check him over and I say, spin him around. And I say, "How long you worked here, James?"
Oh, a couple of weeks. I ain't doing fair. Oh shit!
What was that?
Did I just lose you?
You did for like a weird second.
Yeah.
What'd
Are we
you do?
still streaming?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't do anything. Looked like you turned off the stream for a minute.
No. It did look weird. Oh, but the camera's not pulling to you. Keep talking.
Oh, hello.
Oh shit.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, but it's not pulling to you.
Should I hang up and join again?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
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 Let's see if this works. The Google Hangouts pulls to audio, so I don't have to keep flipping between it. But for some reason, when she left, it didn't work anymore. And I don't want to be slapping back and forth.
There you go.
Oh, no.
It's you.
Yeah, but I can't leave. If I leave, I'm not going to come back.
It's okay. It'll just be the Invictus stream featuring Harlan and Joe's voice.
No, I don't want that. All right, let me just see if this will work. Wait, what will happen when I exit this? It's going to keep streaming, but no one's going to see anything.
That's fun.
Let's try this. It shouldn't change anything though. So it's just going to be like a moment of like nothingness. Everyone chill. It'll be blue random. Okay, I'm going to invite you in a second. Hold on. Hello. Welcome to the Harlan stream. You shouldn't be able to see anything. Oh shit. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Fuck off. Oh my god. Soft and brown, the something is something, and something soft and brown, it goes lovely. La 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 la. Oh crud.
Is it working?
Now it is, except the fucking visuals are not.
What kind of visuals?
It's because...
What?
Is there a way to fix this? Shit. It's because...
What are the visuals?
It's just black right now. They can hear us, but it's black. It's because I can see you, but because I'm using OBS, and it can't have 2 cameras running at the same time, and because it was launched before the Google Hangouts, it's just showing a black screen. Hold on, how can I fix it?
Bummer. I guess
Yeah.
we'll never know what happens.
No, we will, because I'm excited to finish this. I don't know, I'll stop and start it again. Maybe it'll be fine. We'll find out. Start in the stream. And maybe there won't be a hiccup. If I started and stopped it fast enough, maybe there's no, you know. That's my guess.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working now. My hope is that it was such a short split.
Just a little
Just a
smeedo.
little smidgy.
Little
That
mini.
it tricked it. And it was like, oh, it's the same stream.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Oh, I'm down for whatever. Is it really?
Yeah,
I'm down for whatever.
cute.
Let's just see. They see it again. I just hope it's the same video. Because I don't want two stupid videos. One that's like
Okay. Can you just cut them together?
if I have to, yeah. Yeah, it's the same video.
Yes.
Never
We
mind.
did it.
We did it. Okay, so I hold James up against the edge of the building.
And he's got his arms to either side. He's like, just put me down.
And I kind of look at him over and I say, you said you've been here a few weeks?
That's right, sir.
I study his face for a second.
Okay.
I just kind of want to look at his eyes. What color are they?
He's got brown eyes, brown hair. He's like kind of an average looking dude. He looks, he's fairly fit. I mean, he's sunburned from field work.
Mm-hmm. And how old is he roughly?
He's about your age, early 30s.
Why are you watching us?
Well, I saw you come up to the farm, yourself and the sheriff here, and I didn't do nothing. I just wanted to see what y'all were up to. I'm curious, you know. I thought maybe, well, I've been interested in becoming a lawman one day myself, maybe, and I'm sorry.
It's all right. Were there any other... I turned to Sheriff Kelly. What's he doing?
He's watching you curiously.
Like he's
He's got his gun half drawn and he's sort of observing your style.
Me, really? Does he seem like doubting me for some reason?
No, I think he's like watching you with like a measured look.
It makes me a bit uncomfortable and I step away from James and I look towards the sheriff nervously.
And the sheriff's like, I had my deputy talk to the farm hands already. I'm not sure if that makes a difference. You seem to have an issue with my style.
No, I don't have an issue with your style. You already spoke to this here, James. James, did someone already speak to you?
That's right, sir.
And I say, fair enough. Listen, I'm not one for violence, and I put my gun away. And I hope that the sheriff does the same.
Sure, yeah, he follows your lead.
And I turn to him and I say, you know, my daddy, Heart and Soul, he was a different man than me, different lawman than me. He was the kind of man who used brute force as much as he could. Me, never fire my gun, not unless I have to. But if I draw it, and if I have to, I drop him dead. I don't miss. Anyway, James seemed like a good kid. You're free to go.
Thank you, sir. What do you think happened to my employer?
Don't know. Don't know if we'll be able to find out. And I go to turn and leave. I say, all right, well, one more second. Let me see the bottom of your shoes.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Man we're looking for. Got a cracked heel. Jumped off a train down where I am at. Killed a poor family. Mutilated corpses. Severed the hands. Left them like a little present for me. Did the same probably to this family up here. And the only thing we got to go on is this cracked heel. Let me see the bottom of your boots.
The man's face curls into a slow smile.
When I draw,
and he takes one step back from you.
And I hover over my gun and I say, son, when I draw, I don't miss.
And he says, well, Sheriff, I don't intend to find out. You tell me that back where you're from, some other town, there was some kind of a murder?
Yeah, some middle-aged, limp dick fucker who probably couldn't get his own woman murdered a poor family. Cut the hands off. Takes some kind of care to do that. Don't you think?
His pupils are dilated, and his body is totally loose and natural looking. Oh, I don't know what kind of a man would do that sort of thing, Sheriff.
Me neither.
He takes another step back from you.
And I say it again. When I draw, I don't miss.
Sheriff, I don't know why you're threatening me. I was cleared.
And I'm still waiting to see the bottom of your boots.
You will. He turns on his heel and takes off.
And the minute he spins, I draw and unload all 6 into him.
Why don't you roll to hit?
Well, that's going to severely make it less cool. 82. So I probably don't. Although all 6. And the don't miss thing. Really? You're going to make me draw for this? Yeah, I guess I missed something.
I mean, how many times do you get
6.
to shoot with your gun in Call of Cthulhu?
I don't know. I didn't bother the stats. I figured the minute I knew it was him, I was just going to kill him.
Pew, 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 pew,
Yeah,
pew.
I mean, it's not... I'm going to fire at him.
He's not very far away from you.
He's literally...
Did you want to use your XP that Lauren gave you?
Sure. And I'll use the bonus that you gave me.
Great. Because she literally donated an XP to you in the spending
Thank you, Lauren.
chat.
So yeah, it's going to be 32, which is hard success.
Oh, sorry. He's a demon. No, just kidding. You totally murder him.
I like slap the back of my gun and unload all 6 as spurts of blood land and his lifeless body falls back. And as he does, he falls back and the birds in the trees have flown away. You see the heel of his boot. And is it cracked?
Yes, sir.
I thought so. With a I put my gun away and turn to the sheriff and I say, "Here's your killer. Job well done."
He high fives you.
And I turn and walk into the sunset. Good job.
Good game, baby.
Good
Yeah.
game, you.
You did such
Minus
a good
making
spot
me roll
hidden.
for a kill.
Well, no.
Would've
You
been
did
more
such a
smart.
good spot hidden when you looked at the heel of the sheriff's shoe that I was like, I gotta give you something else. And this murderer is watching you investigate his crime scene. So I figured you would see him, but
Definitely.
that probably was a little bit less.
I thought that was
a little
really
anticlimactic.
cinematic. Are you kidding? That nice little build up, that little story about me not missing when I draw, and then the question of let me see your boot. Just it framed it really nice, I thought.
Yeah.
After that, where could I have found him, or is he just gone?
He hangs out at. So this is the final location.
Yeah.
The town of Sterling.
Yeah.
So he has become a part of this town. There's also a robbery that has happened that he robbed a grocer a couple of weeks ago.
Mm.
So you could find out about that. But he hangs out in town. He's kind of interested in stalking you. So you would see him in a couple of different places. He hangs out at the train station because he's like entertaining the thought of leaving town. But part of his motivation for committing these crimes, apart from the fact that he's got like a schizoid type issue, is that he kind of wants to be pursued. He's confused about why he's committing the crimes, but he's got so much of a desire to inflict this pain and suffering. Part of him is proud about how good he is at it, and he like wants recognition for that. So he wants to see
psychopathic murderers.
It's interesting how many people who are responsible for murders take part in the manhunt when the person is still missing. It's like a pretty high percentage of people who like conform to a specific type of murder, who like they like show up at the press conferences, they volunteer to be one of the people who's like out looking for the person. It's really weird.
I'm sure you have, because you're like all into the murders now. Since we started dating, which is just really concerning. Have you seen the interview with the guy who murdered his neighbor and dumped the body, and then was interviewed by the news station? And as he was being interviewed, he found out that the body was found because he thought he hid it.
Oh man.
It's really, really interesting. This is only a few years ago. He's like
see his facial expressions.
He was a classmate, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad to hear," and and no, she was great, and and he's like acting all normal, and then they're like, and he's like, and I can't believe, and I guess they will never find her, and they're like, "Oh no, they have found the body," and he's like, "Oh," and he like just zones out, and he's like, and the interviewer is like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, yeah, I'm so shocked.
Yeah, there's so many interviews that I don't watch that stuff. I just listen to podcasts about it basically, but there's a lot of like instances where like a mom kills her children or a husband kills his wife or whatever, and they interview the guilty party about the murder before they're officially a suspect, and just apparently just to watch people lie through their teeth is hilarious.
It's crazy. But seeing him like realize he's like fucked on camera is surreal. And then afterwards they have his interview footage of like, and he's like talking really like, and then I killed, like he's like two different people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Stephen McDaniels, for anybody who's interested in watching that, his name is, not that I like giving any of these fucking psychopaths any sort of credit, but it's just really interesting. I'm posting it now. That's the interview. That's the actual clip where he's like, and you can see it's around the
I heard
like 5 minute mark or whatever, where he realized
his face dropped.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, and then he's the one who did it. Anyway, great game.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. That was a lot of fun.
Did you want to know about the dishes?
The what?
The dishes.
Yeah, what was that?
This is the actual mechanic used by, I don't know, do you want me to give you the person's name?
The actual murderer? The murderer?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to, I don't want to give anyone glory, I guess, but sure, let's do it.
Yeah, sure. The Golden State Killer, who was just recently apprehended, would stack dishes on the husband's back and leave him in another room or somewhere where he couldn't see his wife, and be like, if I hear these dishes move, I'm going to come back here and kill you.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, so he would use the dishes as like an alarm to know when because he would always attack couples, or very frequently attack couples, where you had to find a way of controlling both people at once.
Well, that's what I was really concerned with the first murder. How he killed one and then
they couldn't see each other, right?
Yeah.
So because of they had like bags over their heads essentially.
Yeah, but I feel like you would have been screaming when someone's stabbing you.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be hard. Let's not get too like 18 plus here, but probably hard to differentiate the sounds that you make
Yeah, that's
during
fair.
different parts of being tortured.
Good point. No, very good. And I want to give credit to myself. I think I solved some
You did
good.
an amazing
I think I was
job.
pretty clever with some of that stuff. I think I was good
You
about.
you were very thorough in your investigation, and you put a lot of things together off the bat.
I think I was. I'm pretty good with this. I knew immediately, like the minute the second murder was a, whatchamacallit, of like a family. I knew that it was going to be like a couple situation again. Or I guess I knew midnight. I knew that it was kind of like a couple made sense. I was going to ask though. James wasn't actually a farmhand, was he?
Yep.
He just said that, or he was.
He had been working for this family.
That's what I thought.
Uh,
I wrote down employed because I thought it was something interesting about the two businesses, but I guess he didn't work at the first business. No, he just kind of went in. But I thought,
he just sort of stopped in at the first town, and the second town he didn't commit a murder right away.
Yeah.
So he sort of like put himself into the community, got to know people, and then decided, well, the family that I work for is kind of a good target. Why not?
interesting. And with the girl that was eaten by a wolf, totally unrelated?
No, definitely a victim.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just I think probably they spent a couple of days trying to look for her before they found her, and that maybe there was actually, animals scavenging the body.
Yeah. Yeah. Great game. I'm proud of myself too. I feel good about myself. And I'm gonna get yeah, what was his name? Jasper back.
Say,
Jeepers.
Jasper? Jeepers!
Get Jeepers back.
Oh, I should have fucking said. Jeepers is found wandering around by herself. A tall brown horse is found to be roaming loose on the outskirts of town. The perp ditched the horse and hopped a train while heading out. So during the 6 weeks between when there's like no action, you uncover the horse. That would have been important to know. Sorry, babe.
No, it's fine. It's tough because my mind was fighting against the impulse to go for a narrative murder versus a real murder. With a narrative murder, it would have been a lot more likely that, like, Morris was the killer or Dodie was the killer or something like clever like that. That's not to say real murder, but real murders don't work like that. Real murders are more random, less similar. They're sort of more, you know what I mean? Like they're...
Well, most murders are committed by people in your family.
Yes, that's true.
But
I
the
mean,
exciting, like, publicized murders that get turned into movies and TV shows and get talked about on podcasts and stuff are like
the interesting ones.
Different.
But even those are like, they're not as crazy. Anyway.
Yes, Colin the Bone Collector urban legend was a red herring.
Yes, I noticed that. Because I was like...
I just thought an old man would be excited about his own personal legends.
I think that was a great decoy. I didn't bite, though.
And I'm glad you didn't, because we don't have enough time for this shit.
Oh. Thank you so much for hanging out, ladies and gentlemen. What should we gift? Who gets Endgame XP?
Ooh, great
Thank you for the
question.
XP too, Rin. So I killed this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Made it happen.
Did you take any hints from anyone?
Not really. Not that I saw.
Did
I don't think so.
Num num. Anyone new? It's nice to see Langdon back.
Yeah, there are a few people that are new. March 27th. What's the date today? 27th.
Yes.
Raleigh Jumper joined.
That's new.
Merrick's. The Merrick's.
I also wanted to let people know that if you are one of our Patreons, I know there has been a little bit of a hole in your heart because you're not getting the campaign notes from the Call of Cthulhu campaign while Harlan finishes up our storyline, but you will be receiving... You'll be getting these notes. You'll be getting Chris's notes. Is that right?
Yeah.
What other games did we run this month? March is almost over, fools. It's going to be April soon.
I know. Horror Vacui.
Which is...
Justin Reeves. End of the World.
Nice.
Which you can have End of the World notes, but You're gonna be disappointed.
We promised they would be as long as short as they actually are.
Well.
I think yours is like half of a page, right?
already
Hey, just take a picture.
I destroyed it.
No,
I mean,
that's
I don't
valuable.
think anyone's really gonna want this, to be honest. But
Yeah, they will.
well,
Even if they don't use it, they're gonna love seeing your handwriting so that
Very
they can forge your signature.
I just mean to say, maybe I'll give this, or maybe I'll give something else, maybe a bonus. I don't know.
Cute. Who do you want to give end game?
Let's say, we avoided an April Fool's stream.
Yeah, we did.
What are we gonna
That's
do?
Monday, I believe.
Bummer.
Are we back to our regularly scheduled programming on the 3rd? Doing another Call of Cthulhu?
I think we're back on Call of Cthulhu, which is a lot of pressure. No, I'm excited. I hope everyone's still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. I'm excited. We're gonna need to review some information.
Yeah, I'm working the evening of the 17th. So the 3rd and the 10th of April are 2 nights in a row.
That'll be 7,
so that'd
8.
be 7, 8, and then probably 24 and finish on the 1st of May.
And on the 1st of May. I like the sounds of that. And then an all-new 10-part campaign.
I'm running it.
Are you?
It's going to be, right?
I mean, I didn't want to put any pressure on you. I was hoping because I was excited about what we were
We
talking
talked about it.
I know.
It's going to be really good.
I think we're going to get to do a lot of workshopping back and forth, which will be cool.
Rules system?
I think we're doing, yeah. Did we ever talk about this? Are we
No,
on the same
I
page? Is that
think
what you're talking about? Or you don't know?
I don't think we talked about it. What are your ideas?
I think you know what my ideas is. I think it's time we finally did. I think that's the one.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it has to be.
Okay. Endgame post or Endgame XP.
Endgame XP. Yeah, let's do Carly because I like her.
Done.
Done.
Congratulations, Carly.
Well done,
You're
Carly.
Harlan's favorite.
You win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a new 10-parter starting May, the week after May 1st.
Whatever day that is.
With an
Scientists don't know.
all-new system. Our first system, and arguably, I would strongly argue, the most popular system currently out there. Because I have talked to more people that love this system than any other system. Every con I talk to, people talk.
Yeah, people really
circles
like
around
it.
I think this is the one that we crack it in, which means a fucking badass trailer, a wicked ass hype train. But Call of Cthulhu still has more to go. I hope you guys are getting excited for the Apex. For the
Totally excited. Did you want to do a Monday night game stream on April Fools? Maybe? We'll think about it. Mm-hmm.
Are you working? Are you free?
No, I'm going to be at your house. We could do a spooky
Is that
stream.
this weekend?
Mm. I'm off Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, that sounds cute. Let's do that. Call of Cthulhu.
Do some more Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, get into the mood. I would love that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cute. All right. Monday Night Gaming. Have a great weekend, guys, or whatever the fuck. And as my gal Joe always likes to say,
It's my bedtime.
it's my bedtime, y'all. Good night.
Good night.